I didn't mean what I told you, but you took it to heart. Wish I could take it back to get a new start. I apologize at least 100 times. You never heard my perspective or took my advice. But I put all the problems in a pot, then I stirred. I said what I said, what I did was a blur. And it's just a bad habit, maybe it's just a curse. Now our friendship's on do not disturb. I tried to fix what was broken, but you made up your mind. I gave you all my reasons, then you pushed them aside. Guess it wasn't enough. When it rains, it floods. Left me drowning here neck deep, dragged me through the mud. You act like I stabbed a knife in you. I cut so deep, I went all the way through. If you guess like me, then I'm a fool. No more drama now. something, your silence is too loud. Where's the love when I'm around? Ooh, ooh. But better get to running, better get to running, better get to running. The time is running out.
Good afternoon, little guys. Good afternoon, more like a good evening, am I right? Holy shit. Diesel, what are you talking about? Good afternoon. Well. Hold on. We can... Boom! There I am. For some reason, this works. It just doesn't work in OBS. I don't really know what the issue is. Hello! How are we doing? Oh, am I getting cut off? So I'll just remember not to, you know, get up there. You know, I gotta not be in the way, I guess. But yeah, I guess we're doing this now. It's been a long time, right? It's been a long time. I don't even know what window I'm using for this. That's where we're at right now. VTuber Studio, here we go. Boom. Let me make me bigger. There we go. Boom. Easy. TLDR if we missed last stream. Yeah, I'll explain. Okay, so in case you weren't here last time, let me let you in on the TLDR. The T, if you will. Because the DnD community is reeling about this. And it's been kind of a big thing. Anyway, here's the TLDW on what happened. There's a guy named OneShot Questers, okay? So OneShot Questers has been mad and he wants to be famous, okay? And he finally saw an opportunity with something called min-max. Now, with that, min-maxed is a D&D live play show. And OneShot Questers is mad that he wasn't invited. And so he has decided to publicly pocket watch them and demand that they change it up and make it better, okay? So that is what's going on, right? He is basically pocket watching them and demanding that they show the receipts on where all the money went and a bunch of other stuff. Now, meanwhile, these guys haven't done anything wrong. So this guy's basically spurging out that he wasn't invited to the Cool Kids Club table. And he's been super mad about it ever since. Anyway, that's where everything's at. He's basically just like a loser chud nerd who's upset that he's not invited. Okay? So that's... You saying make me bigger is somebody's thing. I never really understood the giant thing. Like I like a taller lady, but like once you're taller than a building, like what am I even gonna do with that? Like all I can do is have you step on me. But the TLDR is that this guy is like an I wanna be famous loser, and he's mad that he wasn't invited to the cookout. So that's it, right? And he has had a generational level crash out. So we ended last stream by min-max responding to his original allegations and blowing him out of the water, right? And now OneShot Questers has a video responding to the other guys, okay? So this is OneShot Questers' response to min-max's response to his video. Okay, so now we're on video 3 from this drama. Okay, and it's going to get worse. So we're going to hopefully get through most of it today. I might skip around some of the other stuff like the crispy stuff, but we'll get into it, okay? We'll get into that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, okay? You just stick with me. But does everybody understand where we're at right now? I'm taking questions. Okay, I'm taking questions.
No Diesel, that's the worst part, bro. Had a collab, they accepted and he fumbled the bag.
Yes, that is true. That is true. There was the accepted, that's the worst part. But yes. They did say, we'd love to work with you. And because he's stupid, he didn't, answer his fucking emails. Anyway, if this tells you guys anything, it's that you should be more open to answering your emails. So there you go. Why do I disappear on here? I should turn on here. Hold on. It's because I'm behind me. Here we go. Boom. I needed to turn off my monitor for a second while I go pull up the next video. But while we're all getting settled in, are you guys getting your drinks? We all get our bev. For the evening. Can't leave teaching behind. Will this be on the quiz? Yes. It's open book, thankfully, which I'm sure will be good. Oh shit, is that 5 gifted? Thank you. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you. Very poggies. We love to see it. Okay, so actually we need to start with Crispy Tavern next, okay? Now I should mention, I don't like him. I'm sorry. There's a lot of reasons I don't like him. I think, obviously I'm kind of the pot calling the kettle black. I still do all my, actual tabletop content on, a separate channel. I'm obviously very influenced by that. But, I'm a little drama goblin, I like to be the center of attention. So, there's really no reason that I can't, But he's more like, how do I put this? I mean, there's a lot. Anyway, we'll just get right into it. All right. It's two weeks ago now. Wow. Holy shit.
Oh, hey.
Okay. What an outfit. What an outfit. Okay. Caught me off guard. Here, let's do that. Boom. I'll get out of the way. Should I be over here? Yeah, I'll be over here. I can't tell when the wink is on purpose and when it's not. That was clearly an on-purpose wink. Okay.
Story. So, we brought up min-maxed before.
Pause. I think Crispy is a they them. That is a new revelation if they're they them. I will refer to them as they them simply so I don't accidentally misgender them. There's nothing wrong with using a gender neutral pronoun right now, right?
I mentioned this brand new D&D podcast during the Shadiversity episode, and many of you were very happy that I was just using them as a transition to talk about martial arts creators. At the time, min-max were not...
I think the one thing that bothers me about Crispy is the amount of stolen valor. And I've said this before, occasionally when I look at Crispy's content, they claim scalps for dramas that happened, even though that Crispy is not involved or partakes in those things at all. A lot of streamers get into the beef with it and kill by themselves, but then other individuals will come in and try and swoop a kill, right? So this is like when Just a Robot claims that he was on the right side of history because he was late to the game, okay? And I really don't like that shit when creators do it. And it seems to be very common now to do that. But maybe if you want to get in the mud, get in the fucking mud. But that's just my opinion, man.
Not involved in any drama, so there was no need for me to continue talking about them.
I also, okay, dare I say it, I think that the older I've gotten, the better I am at drama. I've noticed that a lot of these young people in drama, sorry, I'm gonna unk Max here, but young people in drama seem to be particularly bad and like the emotional intelligence required to navigate it. This is not like a specific dig at Crispy, obviously, but it is that everybody seems to be like really overly emotional or really too like invested when you kind of gotta like turn it off.
Well, I'm talking about them now. Yeah, if you're unaware, Min-Max is, like I said, a brand new D&D podcast. But its special gimmick is that it is bringing together martial arts creators from across the world. People who swing swords in real life are now going to be swinging swords in Fantasyland, which I think is a neat idea. Though it isn't cheap to get all these people together, so the channel heading up this effort, Sell Sword Arts, they opened up a GoFundMe and got over $100,000 to make it happen. What started as just a little one-off idea for a D&D game is now going to be a full-on...
Yeah, I think a lot of it is that a lot of these young drama creators that make quote unquote normie drama, and that's what I'd classify this as, they don't get knocked down a peg. And by the way, there are some others that have been characters. I'm not talking about Lilu Dallas Multipass now, I'm talking about somebody else. But there's been other people recently that make normie drama content. I'm also not talking about iNabber, but they like got something wrong and it was very bad. But because they're a normie drama content creator, the audience just agrees and claps. But like if I made a mistake like that, it would be like a career-ending one, right? Like even when I make like a minor mistake, it's like an issue. So the standards are like way higher.
Channel and show. Within a day, we'd hit our goal.
These young people and you're the same age as them. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to be that guy, but like, I was not the same person I was at 23 that I am now, okay? There's so much more life that I had lived. And there's just so much. Especially because a lot of people, like, their early 20s and late teens of, like, Gen Z were completely wiped out by the pandemic.
And we doubled, tripled, quadrupled that goal, and now this isn't just a tiny little D&D project anymore. This is going to be epic. They're planning multiple seasons, built a whole set. This looks awesome, and I myself was really excited to see how their work panned out. Last week, they released their first episode, and I thought it was pretty dang solid. Not perfect by any means, but I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing whatever they do next. I moved on with my life, and then I got this DM on Instagram. Would love your take. I feel like tea is brewing in some way, shape, or form. Knowing you probably already...
You got somebody DMing you on Instagram to cover this?
Know about this, but would love to see you cover this.
Diesel was actually a foot taller in his early 20s, yeah. Diesel, did you know that you flubbed the word in your Illuminati takedown video? Can you retract all your statements and relitigate the whole drama? That's very funny. That's very funny. It wasn't that drama, but yeah, that's exactly it.
If anything more comes from it. Contained in this DM was a video by Duke from OneShot Questers, a YouTuber with almost 1 million subscribers. He doesn't know.
I don't want to be that guy, but I said this last time, but 1 million subscribers means nothing now. Your subscriber count means nothing. You are irrelevant at 1 million subscribers. You're irrelevant at 100,000 and 500,000. You don't matter until you pass the 10 mil threshold because shorts completely change how we interpret subscriber numbers. So if you have ego associated with your subscriber number, which Duke definitely does, then you are 12. You have 12-year-old brain. The great theory of everything that is, I am 12.
Normally do drama content, so him making a video called "I'm done being scared to speak up" with the words "this is pathetic" and the cast of Min-Max front and center, I was concerned. Something really bad must have happened to push this guy to make a random drama video. Well, I checked out what he said, looked deeper in the situation, and yeah, nothing terrible was happening behind the scenes. Something terrible was happening right in front of my face, though. A YouTuber, OneShot Questers in particular, a YouTuber in the D&D space with almost 1 million subscribers, was clearly gatekeeping this community and attacking a brand new podcast for almost absolutely no reason. This hit piece by Duke is one of the most misguided and idiotic videos I've seen posted on YouTube. And with what I do for a living...
I mean, it's an unabashed hit piece, okay? It's not even that it's misguided. He's not misguided. He is a deliberate, malicious actor. I've said this multiple times. I think people are giving him too much benefit of the doubt. You actually need to be less charitable to him.
That is really saying something. Within the past couple days, I have seen the collapse of the OneShot Questers YouTube channel. Thousands of subscribers are fleeing in droves. He had a full-on crash out in his comment section, and this whole story ended with one of the most insane plot twists I have ever seen because apparently it was just an elaborate job application. Oh my god, it was insane. And the worst part is that I warned him. Yeah, I'm directly involved in this one too. So.
Oh, you're directly involved in this one? I think if there's one thing I've learned, it's that being a direct participant might be like one of the worst things. Um, it's really hard to do it justice if you get too emotionally invested. Like you just can't. And at a certain point, you just gotta throw your hands up and go, all right, uncle.
Without further ado, guys. What
Yeah, I have it on 1.5. Yeah.
I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of being frustrated. I'm tired of
more in depth on who these people are. Min-Max, I think I've already pretty much covered it. They are a bunch of martial artists coming together for a D&D game held in Texas. The effort is being led by Sellsword Arts, a massive short-form content creator who you might also recognize from the Shadiversity drama. Seriously, this poor guy just keeps on getting dragged in drama.
Okay, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit because this is clearly the preamble to explain everything. Okay. There.
Pathetic. It doesn't matter if you're trying to cover the invisible suits that are pulling the strings behind the scenes. If you call their show pathetic, you are implicating them. You are pulling them into it. But anyway, that argument doesn't even matter because there are no invisible suits controlling Min-Max. The content creators of the show...
Yeah, that's a really funny allegation that Duke brings up. The idea that there's like somebody else that is the issue and then directly avoiding calling out the creators while still also obviously directly pointing the finger at Sellsword Arts.
Are the producers of the show.
He talks about he has no hate to the creators and is mostly about the producers, but again, there was no producers. David and Megan did this entire thing basically on their own.
We had a lot of help from the other creators when it came to like ideas for the campaign and stuff, but logistics were mostly handled by us.
If it gets too much, Duke does a good job of being petty back at Crispy in his response, and then Crispy steps it up again in the response. I'm gonna give it some time, and then if it's like, wow, this is Resident Sleeper, and this is just recapping everything we've done on stream, then I'll move on.
And it hurts.
Okay, so that clip comes from Sellsword Arts and their response to Duke's video. Obviously, like, chronologically or whatever. That video comes later in the timeline, but I'm gonna be using it now to give some
brother. Okay, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. We gotta... brevity is a soul of wit. I know I produce extremely long videos. I like to think that I have shortened my needless pontificating in my videos. Every sentence I write, I make sure it is informationally dense, which apparently is also an issue, but that's neither here nor there.
Context to the crazy stuff Duke says in his video. So remember, again, in his conclusion, he says that they are pathetic, they are self-serving, they're exploiting the community.
Okay, yep, I ran out of patience. I'm sorry, I can't. He keeps repeating things that he's already said, and I can't fucking stand that shit. Why is every commentary guy just the same thing as a guy who repeats the plot of a movie? Okay, I hate this. The ability to explain things has gone out the window. Okay? It's annoying. I watch a review and I'm like, this is just explaining the plot of the thing. God damn.
All that. So, what is
Lasted
the
10
first
seconds.
piece of evidence to showcase how
Fine.
dastardly the people behind Min-Max are? Well, okay, here we go.
So this first slide is their layout, $100,000, and there is 52%.
Well, we've already done this. I don't think... Look, if I'm just gonna give this I'm gonna give this a broad strokes. Everything I said last night, Crispy is also saying the same things. Well done. There we go. There's your flowers. All right, I'm done now. I'm gonna move on to the response. Let's see. There's a more failing context. My experience. Comment crack. We're just gonna go right to Duke's.
If you clicked on this video,
thing.
that means you understand the backstory of what is currently happening. I understand that this is my final chance to express my concerns, and I ask that you thoroughly listen to what is about to be presented. And don't worry, I won't be as aggressive as I was in my initial video. I spent more time doing research and gathering my information so I could...
So you decided to crash out the first time, and now you're deciding to actually go back and lock in? Maybe you should have done that the first time. The ball was in your court. You did it first, buddy. Why are you treating it like now you're finally going and doing the work?
make a proper response this time. If you're still here, thank you so much for choosing to hear me out. Before we begin, I do have a few housekeeping notes. Whatever opinion viewers may come away with, I ask that people remain civil.
Oh my God. Guys, can we all remain civil? I know that I'm slinging mud and I'm being like a drama frog, but What if I told you to start as a stealth thing at Crispy? Why? Is it because Crispy's a little drama frog? Is that it?
Toward all parties involved, as situations like this can have serious effects on a person's mental health and well-being. This is a
Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we all stop pretending like we're the bigger man when we do these things? Let's not even, like, let's call a spade, okay? When I'm saying mean things about Duke's ventriloquism, or I'm saying that Duke's wife is not a woman I'd fuck while he sits in the cuck chair, okay? Like, all of these things are meant to be said with an intent to make him feel bad.
response to Crispy's Tavern
It's like you guys are treating this like you're gonna get kirked. Okay? Like, what?
video titled OneShot Questers, the Unwanted Gatekeeper of D&D. This video is intended to present additional research and information regarding claims made by Crispy, along with the handling of donations and the level of respect shown by the producers of MinMax, while they were not serving as on-screen talent for the MinMax D&D Live Play series. The research presented in this video is not intended to cancel or stop the production.
Yes, it is. Let's be real. It is.
MinMax. This video is not a critique of the entertainment itself or the talent performing on screen when it comes to the MinMax D&D live play games. Comments and engagement will be turned off.
It's like this is, oh, I'm just providing evidence. I'm not trying to cancel anybody. Yes, you are. Like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Like, when somebody says something obviously incredulous about me and then buffets that by saying, I'm just asking questions, they're not. They're not. It's clearly an attack. Okay? You like this whole thing where people are like, I'm attacking this person, but I want to act like the bigger man, so I'm going to say something completely pointless. It's like, well, there's no reason for you to do that. Like, you're lying through your teeth when you say that. Stop.
To help prevent misinformation from spreading in the comments and to allow viewers to form their own opinions on the matter. This video is a response to Crispy, since most of the attacks I've been receiving as of late have come from their video, and multiple family members and friends have reached out referencing Crispy and making sure that I was doing okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, not to be that guy, but if Crispy's really sending you over the edge, I think you might as well log off.
Context, I made an aggressive call-out video about MinMax, a $100,000 crowdfunded D&D live play project, for mishandling the donations they received. Going forward, I would like to change my phrasing to instead be showing a lack of respect to the donations received and to the supporters of MinMax. MinMax made a response video providing additional information, and Crispy's Tavern made a video that covered the situation. I believe one reason Crispy made their video about the situation was because of the conversation we had on Discord the day after I posted my initial video.
So Crispy had reached out to you to ask questions,
which I will now show and read. Crispy starts off by saying,
oh boy, let's just start reading these. Hey Duke, I'm reaching out privately because I have no desire for a public feud. I watched your video on MinMax. While I agree with some of your points, you should agree with 0% of his points, actually. You should agree with 0%. You should be less charitable. A frightening wall of text. But speaking of, I heard that Tyler is beefing with Flesh Simulator. You open a video with an out-of-pocket comparison about an actual charity fraud, then move on like it was nothing. I know you were vaguely responding to the comments, claiming you have evidence of something with money. Look, until that evidence is live, making comparison like that only hurts you as the reporter. He's not wrong. They're not wrong, excuse me. The video is so wildly mismatched with what you're talking about. I understand getting emotional, but at the end of the day, this is a D&D show that has some production issues. They are committing crimes here. Yeah. Respectful criticism is one thing, but framing MinMaxed as pathetic and disrespectful is just silly. The title and thumbnail, in my opinion, are particularly silly, given what you were talking about. Unless you have more serious allegations, this framing is poor. Lastly, it's very clear that your research is hasty. I'll defer to they, them as future-proofing this stream. There are multiple details about Cell Sword Arts that you clearly don't know. I know you have already deleted portions of your video because you got stuff wrong. It's okay to get stuff wrong. It's the internet. It's not okay to get stuff wrong. If you get something wrong on the internet, they lock you in a stockade and then they throw tomatoes at you. So let's see. The video is clearly unscripted and little preparation seems to have been done. As a continuation of that point, much of your video is speculative. There's no other way to put it. Theorizing about the future failure of the show due to a bi-weekly release schedule is silly. The show's been out for a day. Making sweeping declarations about the show's prospects, either for good or ill, is irresponsible at this time. Much of your argument regarding these funds hinges on speculation. I personally would not be comfortable airing a story on that kind of foundation. The criticisms you are receiving in the comments are for good reason. I'm echoing the sentiments of many of your supporters. I have no problem with drama. Obviously, I'm a snark YouTuber. Is that what we're calling it now? A snark YouTuber? I think I'm gonna just die, actually, if that's what we're calling it now. Fucking the only thing worse than a drama YouTuber must be like a snark subreddit. Like, is that we're here? That's what we're here now? Like I'm a snark YouTuber. Drama is my bread and butter, but I cover stories months or even years after the fact because I try to get my facts in order. Not to be that guy, but you cover stuff after it happened because it's easy. Not like it is. Like, ultimately, like, it was really easy for me to make that Logan Paul video because that was an old story and all the information was out there, and I could focus on telling a like comprehensive, like, this is the history at the time because it was such an old event. It's nearly been a decade, you know? What the fuck is a snark YouTuber? So snark is the term that has kind of picked up as like an anti-fan. Like, if like as a fan can be like parasocially in love with you, a snarker is someone who is parasocially hating you, and they make like a passionate, they passionately love to hate, you know? It's like, it is an amorphous word. It's one of those words that doesn't mean anything, okay?
Hey, Duke, I'm reaching out privately because I have...
You accuse Min-Max of rushing, but that is exactly what you did with this video. I understand you are not a journalist, but if you're going to air a piece like this, you should act like one. I think you are going to rue the day that you compare yourself to a journalist, Mr. Crispy. Duke, you're making D&D not fun. Grow up.
No desire for a public feud. I watched your video on Min-Maxed. While I agree with some of your points, unless you have... I understand that you are not a journalist and everything. A day later, on March 4th, Min-Max posted feedback, and I will...
I'm sorry you feel that way. This guy's great. this guy's a grade A villain, dude. Sorry you feel that way. Brutal. He basically was like, I don't care. I unfortunately have to step away from communication for a bit because this is the type of experience I would face and the reason I would be scared to speak out for 6 years. What are you holding on to? This guy is talking like he's got some serious ops hiding around the corner, dude. I have to step away from communication for a bit because this is the type of experience I would face and the reason I would be scared to speak out for 6 years. What kind of lore does this guy have? What are his ops, dude? What are the ops facing Duke, you know? I'm sorry the way I presented my information wasn't to your standards and how you would have liked my content to be presented as. I'm still open to your criticisms and feedback, and I'll take your words when I need to use them. Wish you the best at everything. This guy's like, I don't care. Okay, that's like a
take your words when I
nothing
need to use them. Wish you the best in everything. A day later, on March 4th, Min-Max posted their response video to me, and Crispy then posted their video covering the situation on March 6th. Just for clarification, Sellsword Arts is the one producing Min-Max, and starting right now, I will be addressing them as the producers moving forward. So with that being said, I'm going to follow along with Crispy's video and presents research that I found and only cover the topics I feel like are necessary in regards to Min-Max in this video.
This guy is actually doubling down. Wow. This guy's actually doubling down. What an absolute clown show. Holy shit.
And if you are interested, I will provide additional information about points Crispy made that I didn't cover at the end of this video. So the first thing...
I know normies don't have to deal with that much drama, but I feel like Crispy can't be taken that seriously, even by normie standards. I gotta be honest, every time I see somebody who's like a normie creator, I'm just like, okay, I don't really, I know that you lack the faculties to deal with this long term. I think I'm fine.
we will be discussing is when Crispy brings up the tech. I'm glad Crispy brought up the tech portion because there were some interesting things that I found when it came to the tech that was bought to produce Min-Max. And I'm glad Crispy did his due diligence with doing his research on the audio, but surprised they said nothing about the lighting, and I'll address that a little later. First off, let's talk about the tablets.
This one is about the tech. Duke is really upset they spent so much money on tech to record this show that needs tech to function. Again, doesn't really make much sense that he wants to show you the higher quality, but also cheaper, especially in this field. Duke also goes on a long rant about the tablets.
In this video of the breakdown, they said they were going to be able to look at the tab, like us as viewers, we were going to be able to see the tablets in real time. We were going to be able to see the players work with these tablets in real time. You didn't see any of that.
Duke, the tablet view that you're saying doesn't exist, the tablet view that wasn't implemented? Can we rewind back to when Duke was complaining about the camera zoom? Yeah, you see that giant screen right there? That's the tablet view, you idiot.
My issue with the
I know you can't see my face right now and that I'm green, but like, what a weak argument, right? What a weak argument. I'm sorry. We need to stop pulling punches. Duke is a lapsed, failed comedian who works a fake pretend job while his wife goes working a real job, and he sits around being a house husband who pretends to be funny to absolutely no one. Okay? Why are we even giving this guy any time of day? We should be absolutely obliterating him from the stratosphere. All right? I mean, that argument is like not really astounding, okay? That was not really it. But like, are we serious?
tablets was something that Min-Max actually addressed in their response video.
One of the issues
Competitive drama pocket watching.
Yeah, we're competitive pocket watching now. Like I'm sorry. There's no universe where I take Mr. Howdy Doody Doll with any modicum of seriousness or respect.
issues we had is we wanted to be able to do a live feed of the character sheet to the project, but that didn't work out. But that doesn't mean it's not something we can do in post. Again, I'm learning as I go, and that's something that I'm hoping to put in the new episodes.
So the part that Crispy says that this is them showing off the tablets is...
Oh my god. No, Crispy! No! This is such a layup that you gave Duke. Like, if we're talking about pedantic drama fights, this is like such an easy clap back that Duke is getting in now. That's why I laughed.
It's false, because that's not what I or Min-Max was saying. That's what the tablets were going to be used for. And I'm thankful for Min-Max for addressing that. Next, Crispy talks about the cameras.
They could have saved hundreds, if not thousands of dollars by cutting corners and getting worse gear. Which, again, very contradictory. You want the show to be better, but you also want it to be cheaper.
That's true. Yeah, it is contradictory. I'll give them that.
Make any sense, especially in this particular section. But going through the individual points that Duke makes about the tech, you really expose how little he understands about anything. For starters, the cameras. Duke says
that's true. I think Duke's perception of production is very bad.
Replace their cameras with Logitech C920s.
Which is an insane thing. I went over that yesterday, okay? But he's like, guys, you should replace your DJI Osmo cameras with your mom's webcam, okay?
Duke, you mean this Logitech C920? This, like, Zoom meeting during the pandemic Logitech?
Yes! Oh, shit.
C920? Like, no hate against this camera. It's a great budget camera, but that's what it's for. It's for, like, people who want to have board meetings in their house. This is not professional-grade film equipment. What the hell are you talking about?
Neither is the DJI Osmo, if I'm being honest. It's like prosumer equipment.
What I'm talking about is a section in your video where you show the producers talk about the cameras and listen to how they describe the cameras in the budget video and then how they describe the cameras in their response video.
We didn't want to go with big DSLRs because that would have blown the budget just on 2 cameras. So I went with
Yeah, absolutely.
smaller action cams, and we've got them recording to a like big crazy NAS setup. Now the NAS, what we bought was some DJI Action Cam 6s.
My main problem I have in regards to how the
Yeah, whoa. They saved money. The Osmo Pockets are from... Your original video was talking about the expensive Osmo Pockets, but they didn't buy the Osmo Pockets. They had the Osmo Pockets in their possession already. Those cost $0. You treat it like those things cost money, you fucking insane person. Okay? First of all, you know enough to know that those action cams are different than the Osmo Pockets. Okay? You want to tout yourself as a professional, that is very clearly different. Okay? Even better than that, those didn't cost any money. So the 2 Osmo action cams are so that way it's color matched because they use the same fucking color science. All right. And yes, technically the action cams are cheaper than mirrorless cameras. Okay. Yes. Granted, I'm pretty sure you could still find like budget mirrorless cameras and do the same thing. But like, yeah, it works for them because they're all stunt and martial artists. So having action cameras in their production pipeline makes more sense because they're the kind of people who would actually use those things.
producers are handling the budget is that they keep saying,
We're going to have a full, transparent public accounting of how we're using that money.
Because we promised you a total transparent budgeting of min-max. He did a budgeting video that was very transparent. In fact, most of the information that he gets comes from our budgeting video because we're trying to be transparent about where we're putting the money.
but yet there's barely information provided and no proof being shown about
Whoa,
how...
whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you fucking stupid? You know exactly what cameras they're using. You can price that out and figure all that out on your own. You seem to act like you know everything. So yeah, how about you sit down and show us the fucking spreadsheet, buddy?
all the funds were actually spent. The only thing that we were told about the cameras they bought in their fully transparent budget video was that they were action cams and nothing else. It was only when the response video came out that we finally got the information that they were Osmo Action Cam 6s, which made me ask why that wasn't expressed in the budget video. The Action Cam 6 is the newest model releasing on November 18th, 2025. And if the cameras were just going to be mounted on a tripod pointing out a subject in their set, then the difference between the Action Cam 3, 4, 5, and 6 is very minor when it comes to video quality.
It is absolutely minor, but like we're trying to build a studio that can work in like multiple setups, right? So if I have a studio of people who perform stunts, I probably want to build gear that is built around that. And the newer gear, the reason you'd spend money for newer gear in this equation, right, is so that way you could grow with it, right? Season 1, you film in 2026. Season 2, you film in 2027. The lifespan of a camera that's an Action 6 is going to be longer than an Action 4. It's going to get firmware updates for longer. It's going to get new features for longer. It's going to be kept up with the systems at hand for a longer amount of time. Meanwhile, an Action 4 is going to depreciate earlier. So yeah, is it more expensive? Absolutely. But you can grow with it over time. I don't like, why is that even something that is up for discussion? Because it's very obvious why you would buy something that's on the higher end there.
On Amazon, it seems like they bought two.
Better yet, there's like tons of reasons why newer action cams might be better. Things like stabilization change in between series. Fucking color science changes so much between series. That, by the way, that's also not enough for me to compare an Action Cam 4 versus an Action Cam 6, right? But if I'm being honest, so the bitrate is going to completely crush this between these two clips.
Very minor when it comes to...
Right? But I would argue that the color profile and the color science on the Action 6 is flatter and allows for more dynamic range between light and dark. You can see how contrasty the Action 4 is, which is really fine if you're just uploading to social media, but having more dynamic range and less differentiation between the lights and the darks on the Action 6 is going to allow you a lot more leeway, especially in the editing pipeline. Better yet, I don't know offhand, and I'm not even going to say that I know offhand all the features that the Action 6 has, but if it has like the DJI Cinetone flat raw profile that the new Osmo Pocket 3 has on the Action 6, I can more accurately color match an Action 6 with a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 than an Action 4. We are 2 sensors away in this one. It is a completely different color science in how they determine the colors on this, right? It would just make sense to have something that color matches between them, okay? If they're the same generation of DJI action cam, then it would be more beneficial to have something that has the same features for filming with log footage, dude.
The video quality. Looking on Amazon,
I know that all sounds very technical and very blah, 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 whatever, but like log footage allows for a lot of range.
it seems like they bought 2 DJI Osmo Action Cam 6 enhanced combos, which comes to $950 after tax, and is closer to
pretty good. It's not even like $925 for 2 DJI action cams is still less than the cost of one of my mirrorless cameras. And I own 2. I film my main channel stuff now with a Sony ZVE1 and 50mm budget prime lens, right? And it is still like $1,200.
price they provided rather than
Also, to be clear, Cell Stored Arts is colorblind. A tool that assists with color management helps them in editing over budget. Yes!
the cameras were bought as standalones. Comparing prices between the different action cam models, they could have bought the Osmo Action 4 Essential Combo, which could have been either $200 or $282 per.
Yes, okay, absolutely. They could have saved money if they bought this, that, or the other thing. Not to be that guy, but we kind of do live in a post-tariff world, and a lot of these products end up increasing or decreasing in price pretty periodically. Like when I am doing things that are for my business, right? I've noticed that the price of goods that I purchase change so fucking frequently now because the world is so unstable. Partially because of that is because of our president. But you know, that's neither here nor there, right? But as a result of that, fucking Jesus Christ, like there's so many times where I go to buy something now or buy something 5 months ago and the price is completely different. Yeah, the kits are completely different, by the way. Yeah.
Unit based off of the time of purchase, which could have cost at most $580 after tax, meaning they could have saved at minimum $345 on camera equipment.
We're really splitting hairs here. We're really splitting hairs.
And Crispy, I am so sorry that I'm upsetting you once again by
Oh, this guy's such a smug fuck. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry that I'm upsetting you. Dude, this guy does not have a genuine bone in his body. This little fucking slime ball. How fucking dare you try and give that smug little approach to Crispy? How fucking dare you? I'm not like a fan of the guy, but like that is such a disingenuous fucking concerned troll ass response with your doo-doo ass chin beard, you clown.
providing ways to keep production costs low. I only bring it up because the producers apparently also want to keep production costs low.
Fucking missionary Andy here, who doesn't allow any swearing in his house, guys. Careful.
Try to keep expenses on the Min-Max channel as low as possible, but still producing a good season. By keeping the costs low, by editing it in-house.
His ears are still tucked. This fucking snapback wearing fuck.
By not having a bunch of middlemen and producers, we also get to spend your money even more wisely. We are being the best stewards of your money that we can.
So Crispy, to answer your question, yes, you can spend less on equipment and still receive similar quality. Now,
I would not even justify, unless I'm like really pinching pennies. And by the way, if I'm pinching pennies to the point where I'm like determining the difference between an Osmo Action 4 and an Osmo Action 6, I am in a position in my life where I can't buy either of those things.
it is important to note that the producers did state that they returned the cameras.
In fact, Min-Max didn't spend any money on camera equipment, and we were able to return the stuff that we had bought.
But with no proof of return, we don't know if it actually happened. Again,
Well, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, sorry guys. I didn't show me going to Best Buy.
only thing the audience is relying on is the producer's own word, and that doesn't cut it if they state they're trying to be fully transparent. So it is an important question.
That's crazy. I'm sorry. That's not... When I produce products, I'm not sharing this much information, okay? Like, we've gone through the pipeline of producing products and bringing them to market. Obviously, we haven't done a Kickstarter yet. We are going to do a Kickstarter for my book. We are also doing a Kickstarter for another project. And we already know how to produce things. We're not going to waste valuable time explaining those things because we're going to get the shit out.
To ask on why the most recent and
Why would you lie about returning an item? Why would you lie about that? That's so weird.
expensive Osmo Action Cam was bought for the production rather than a model that can produce similar quality and is $200 cheaper per unit. Next is the audio equipment.
Finally, the audio. Duke says that they should only spend $900 on audio. To mic up 7 people? Wow, that's ambitious. But the specific mic
Invested in 7 pod mics, which cost around
Yeah, the Rode Pod mic, why would you use that? I don't understand.
$90 each. You get 7 XLR cables and a decent 8-channel audio interface.
You definitely should have like a task cam mic'd up to a bunch of labs for something like this. Like, absolutely. It would save you like a humongous headache. It's like a humongous headache to do audio. KJ and Hal were sitting in VC with me today as I was editing Loaded Dice, and I was fixing some issues with it. And they can both attest to the fact that I was like bitching and moaning because I'm like, this is a lot of extra stupid work. And I figured it out, and it works this time. But there's a chance, because it's so finicky, that it won't work next time and the time after that. And so, like, it's a problem we'll deal with, but it's just like a nature of our production for now.
Out on Amazon, it would have delivered better audio quality and would have cost them $500 less.
which is a great budget microphone. I love that thing. But it also costs almost $100 each, and Duke wants to buy 7 of them. Duke, your $900 budget for audio is already almost completely blown out by just...
Yeah, and personally, I'm not a big fan of how the Rode Pod mic sounds, but that's just me. I've been really impressed with the software functionality of the Elgato line, but if I was running like a serious setup for like a production, I would never bring any of those things there.
The microphones. Then he wants 7 XLR cables. Sounds like a nightmare for cable management, but sure, okay, 7 of those.
I mean, that's not really even that much of a nightmare for cable management. I'd argue that's pretty reasonable. I wouldn't hook everything up to mains like that. That's why we get like a wireless setup. So that way we just can have like a short cable, and then I just attach all of the receivers to my pack. Okay.
If you want them to be long enough. Finally, he wants an 8-input audio interface. To get a decent one, you have to go to Tascam. Even used, those things cost almost $400. We're well past due.
Yeah, I mean, an 8-channel one you probably wouldn't need either, by the way. You know, you just wouldn't need it.
Duke's arbitrary $900 budget, but screw it. Let's just dig this whole...
Like you could probably record the receivers to mono channels and cut those in half with a cheaper model of Tascam and still have just as many receivers on a pack.
Because Duke also wants...
And then you'll just spoof the stereo sound by duplicating the channels in your NLE.
7 boom arms. Okay, at their cheapest, boom arms are $20. We're already past
I also wouldn't use a boom arm. There's no reason to bring a boom arm into this production, which is like insane. So Crispy's making a very good point here by that's just like a vanity purchase.
Just so we might as well go all out. If you want a decent boom arm that doesn't creak and drive you insane, that's $100 each. So... yeah, Duke. Because, yeah, miking up 7 people is expensive. I'm impressed that they were able to do this at all on a budget of $1,400.
The issue that Crispy made is that they started to suggest getting $20 mic arms and instead said,
let's just dig this hole deeper.
And suggested $100 mic arms since my budget wasn't going to surpass MinMax's final audio cost. If the $20 mic arms are that big of a concern to you, then here are those $20 mic arms that are holding up my lights and being used filming while using a Rode Pod mic as seen here, which I've had.
It's like he just suggested these things because these are the things he uses. But like, if you've used enough equipment, you know why other versions of this, like those $20 arms are creaky, because I used to have one before I changed my setup.
No issues with these arms. If Crispy chose to do the $20 mic arms for his version of my budget, then the total cost would have been $1,210, which is still under the price that MinMax...
Not to be that guy, but you want to... Do you really... We're splitting... I'm sorry. What about the cost of tax? Like, not to be that guy.
spent on their audio equipment. Also, here is a picture of what my audio tech suggestion.
Okay, why would I do that audio console? Are you fucking nuts? I'm in a sound stage, you fucking insane person. I don't have the ability to bring that in there. Why? Assumedly, I need to move that shit out of there. I mean, I guess I could. That's so crazy. What a weird setup. I would never bring this setup for a production like this. This is so fucking weird.
is. And as you can see, creating a whole set
Dude, this is so much. This is so much. You could get something similar with much fewer cabling. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to lock down the set now, okay? Like if I'm an audio tech, I have to run 7 cables from a table over, okay? And then I got to lock that down with grip tape and do all this extra shit. Why?
setup is cheaper than MinMax buying 4 microphones.
But Diesel, he's the end all when it comes to D&D production. I don't even think this guy knows how to wire up his house. Does he know how many Duke Dennis? I'm sorry. His name's not Duke Dennis. How many Duke one-shot Questers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Oh, sorry, Crispy. You probably didn't know that based off of how you presented your video. So
I'm sorry, but this is like guy who doesn't understand production arguing with other person that doesn't really understand production either, but is at least making a sound argument.
if you thought buying 7 pod mics for $700 is an issue, then I should probably warn you that MinMax spent $1,438 on 4 mics. And again, it is important to know that they did end up returning those microphones.
We were able to return those microphones and reinvest that money into season 2.
Although there is no proof of it provided.
Are you kidding me? That you're splitting hairs. You're splitting hairs, buddy. Holy shit.
But thankfully, we got to know what mics were bought thanks to a behind-the-scenes video that was released, and it shows us that the mics were BLX 188 CVLs.
Wow.
And this is the only way anyone could have known what mics were bought. And
those are probably, by the way, were those purchased or rented? Or did they hire a sound tech who brought that equipment in?
I should warn you that MinMax is also using XLR cables, so I guess by your standards, you're also calling
I'm going to need to watch that video. I'm very interested.
MinMax's audio setup a nightmare. But here's the thing, Crispy, you are 100% right that I don't know what I'm talking about.
You
because
don't.
What I provided was a setup that is perfect for a live stream D&D game, but not for a pre-recorded D&D game. The issue with both MinMax and I's audio mixer is that it takes everyone's audio and puts it into a single stereo output. Meaning, if you record from the mixer...
Which is kind of crazy that it's doing that, because you definitely can split a channel with that. You could definitely have multi-channel audio with a setup that crazy. Holy shit.
Everyone's voice is trapped into one audio file, which can be a problem for post-production if people are having mic issues. Since this was a pre-recorded live play, let me show you what the producers use for audio equipment on their own channel.
Should you do acrobatics in a sword fight?
You can see they're using DJI wireless lav microphones, which would actually be perfect for this group since it delivers good audio quality, holds to a person.
There's a lot of reason why I wouldn't use a DJI DJI Mic 3 kit for this kind of production. DJI mic kits are really good for talking head and interviews, but the second I pass 2 people, it becomes untenable because it records to a single output directly in cam. Okay.
Well, if you're moving and flipping around, and is a piece of equipment that the producers
OBS can do split audio too. Yeah, you could split channels and tons of things. You could split channels in Reaper and FL Studio, Audacity, like any kind of audio software could do that.
Already familiar with. And the best...
Wait, he's saying he's not an expert now?
Yeah.
Yesterday he was saying how he has so much experience.
Interesting that.
Part about this is if they went with the DJI Mic 3 and bought 7 of them, it would have been $751.
Whoa, what? Can you even record 7 transmitters to 1 receiver on a DJI Mic 3? I don't think you can do that. Let me go back a second. Is he just looking at the transmitter cost? Because that's not even feasible. I don't even think that the item can do that. I don't think the tools can do that.
About this is if they went with the DJI Mic 3 and bought 7 of them, it would have been...
Why? No, because then you would have had 2 transmitters that work and the rest wouldn't work at all. What are you talking about?
$751 after tax, making it cheaper than mine, yours.
DJI is just a phone lav mic, is it not? It plugs into the phone pretty well, and it has a really good phone setup, but it works really good on like run and gun style shoots. It works as a tiny receiver and a lav mic setup, so it's pretty decent, right? It's even decent for video. The mic, I personally feel is a little tinny. So I would like to attach a mic to it, like a lav mic, and then use it as like a pack. But it is still pretty good. It's a lot better for more than just shorts, right? I've seen it used on cable, so it's good enough for professionals. But like, it definitely can't receive 7 transmitters. You can attach 4 mics to 1 receiver. That's new. That must be for the DJI Mic 3. DJI Mic 2 and lower doesn't do that, and neither does the DJI Mic Mini. But 4 is still less than 7. So you would still need another receiver.
And their setup plus the DJI Mic 3s record internally, which means everyone would get their own separate audio output. And then
Why? No, because if I record them all separate internally, now I have to figure out a way to sync all those up in post. Okay, so yeah, I guess I could have somebody come in with a clapper, and then I could sync it up that way. Absolutely, I could do that. But if a recording goes over the 32 gigabytes, which is possible, right? Then I lose that recording. It's like a constant rolling recording, and it'll record over a recording from the internal like storage on the DJI mic. That is a backup. It is not this is a backup if there's like tech issues. This is not a like first line of defense, okay? I would always rather have it record to a specific audio recorder or record to cam, and then have this as my backup, because otherwise this is like playing a dangerous game. Okay, this is absolutely how you could fuck things up big time.
you take all of the separate audio files and you put them into an audio editor like Reaper, and you apply a gate to each single one of those.
Yeah, my lav mic experience is admittedly very limited, but I love how he's against lav mics and now he's all for them. Yeah, because his arguments are completely nonsensical. You know what I like about this? I know absolutely nothing about any of this, but I can tell that Duke is full of BS because Diesel is knowledgeable and passionate about it. That isn't the Mini, is it? No, he's talking about the DJI Mic 3. So the DJI Mic 2 and 1 both had their casings altered, and they were able to reduce the size of the mic and transmitter with the DJI Mic 3, which is why it's the same size as a Mini. The only difference is that it's clear, like translucent plastic on the DJI Mic 3 Mini, or the DJI Mic 3 is translucent. The DJI Mic Mini is hard plastic that you can't see through. So that's how you can tell the difference.
$51 after tax, making it cheaper than mine, yours, and their setup. Plus, the DJI Mic 3s record internally, which means everyone...
This is such an insane thing. I'm sorry. Recording to internal on this is so stupid.
would get their own separate audio output. And then you take all of the separate audio files and you put them into an audio editor like Reaper, and you apply a gate to each single one of those audio...
The Mic 3 now supports up to 4 transmitters and 8 receivers at once. That means you can record 4 subjects at a time to as many as 8 receivers simultaneously for multicam shoots, if you purchase extra kits, of course. I wasn't able to test this feature as I just had a single kit, but it'll be handy for large jobs if it works as advertised. Is that a firmware update? Because I do not remember that being there at launch. Let's see. The smaller transmitter. That's actually pretty good. That's actually worth an upgrade if that's the case. It's still, I think that this is not a good setup, honestly, right? Great change, absolutely needed. Again, I don't have the Mic 3s, so this is me finding that out the first time. But I will also say that it's like, I would not use it for a professional shoot. I don't want the audio that I'm getting from it. I want something with like a higher float. I want something that'll give me more range. I want something that is going to have protection against peaking. I want something that is going to give me a lot more range, okay? Diesel, you use DR40s for street interviews. I cannot tell you how many hours we have to do in post for everyone to have separate lines.
audio file saying, hey, do not play this audio until it goes past this level. And then you apply a half a second.
Oh, this guy is seriously talking about like a noise gate as if it's like some transcendental idea. Dude, you learned this like day one. Are you fucking kidding me?
Look ahead and a fade in that tells the program, okay, we're gonna play the clip a half a second sooner before it hits that level. And with that fade in, it then introduces someone's voice very naturally. And the same thing happens with a
Oh my God, guys, you gotta understand a noise gate, okay? He's over explaining a noise gate.
Gate, where if you tell it to close a half a second later after the voice is done speaking at that level, it fades out. You now have a clean fade in and fade.
I am really interested in Reaper as a software. I didn't know about it until this. I really am interested in it. I really want to try it out. I'm trying to decouple from Adobe.
Fade out of someone's voice and it just sounds naturally.
Yeah, you want something hooked up to a mixer so you can have evenly leveled audio before the recording. So the editor isn't hanging himself with the XLR cable. So true, dude.
With no hard cuts. And then you just export all of the audio files separately. You sync them all together into the...
Has anyone ever thought of this before? Changing the attack on a noise gate? Holy shit. Oh, if only somebody would ever think of such a thing.
Your video editor, and then you only have to do minor cleanup with the audio. Listen, I love editing audio.
Yeah, well, it doesn't sound like you've learned a lot, dude. Wow, you learned like the bare minimum.
It makes me so happy and gives me so much serotonin. Okay, Crispy, let's move on to the lighting. Now, I know you didn't touch on this, but it does fall under the tech.
I hope he talks about the lantern box he wants to put on the aperture light again, okay? Because that was like, that was something crazy.
Category.
I'm much more knowledgeable in lighting and cameras than I am in audio, though. Like, I've learned audio as a process of the fact that you get more jobs for audio than anything else if there's a shoot going on, because there's not many audio guys. Even in a place like New York, there's still not as many where I'm at, so it's much easier to get a job for that. Every single fucking guy wants to be a camera op, okay? Nobody wants to be a sound tech.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't talk about this, since you do state that you're a proper journalist. It might be good for you to know the
that's a scary one.
lights the producers bought didn't come close to the price they said they paid for, which was $1,376.
We bought 4 lights for the players so you can see our faces.
All of the lights that you see above that are casting light into the room were provided by Seltzer Arts. We already own those. We didn't spend any money on that.
If we look at the behind the scenes video, the lights used to light the players' faces are 3 Elgato LED key lights for...
Well, yeah, those are... I don't like those. The color is fine on those, but they don't give me enough range. Those are total consumer grade lights, okay? If you're a streamer, these companies, like the Elgato microphone is an anomaly in their lineup of items, because a lot of it is like cheap, like, and I say that like it's readily available, so it's still fine. Like, if you want to use this stuff, fine, absolutely go ahead. I think it's totally okay for you to use it, right? I'm not saying that it's wrong to use it. I'm saying that these companies are selling you items that are like white label, like Chinese reprint of other objects, you know, because there are other companies making Elgato key lights that are just as good at a quarter of the price. Not a quarter, maybe like half, right? Because the cost of materials is still pretty high. But like, I would not use these to light a set ever. I would not use these to light a set. If you have it, use it. Absolutely. Save some money, use it, light it. But it is not prosumer stuff. We really want to be using something like, here, I'll pull it up. So we really want to be going to like we want to use like the Aperture Amron series lights. Let's see. Light kits. Oh my gosh, I could only find the expensive ones. Amaran, right? Is that how it's spelled? There we go. Amaron is definitely like it's related. They are related to aperture lights. Okay? but these lights are way, way better. Okay, you get a lot more range out of something like this for $100, right? Obviously, the price can get crazy, but like the output on here, the wattage is a lot higher, a lot better. Like they are price gouging the fuck out of you. Like that's the reality of it. The Elgato key lights are price gouging the fuck out of you. Like absolutely. I don't use Elgato key lights here. I have a for my fill. Obviously, you can't see me right now, but I have an Aperture MC magnetic light attached to my mic stand, and I have a which one? I have one of these here. I think it's an older version of what is this? I think it's a daylight. I have the Amaron COB 60DS. This is the one I have. 60DS. And then I bought an Aperture what is it? What was it called? Fucking God. I have it's a soft box. It's an octagonal soft box. It's one of these. Okay. It's not this brand. I paid a little more for like a nicer one that's made out of steel because I didn't want it to fucking break. Broke, by the way.
Or $180 per unit, and one Elgato Keylight Neo, which is around $75.
It's insane pricing on this stuff. It just is. It really is. It is. I feel really bad that they bought this. I'm sorry, guys.
$5 per unit. And if you would have
but it came from Sellsword Arts.
totaled all of that up, you would have seen that the final cost only comes to
Or a bunch of it came from Sellsword Arts.
$650 after tax, which doesn't make sense if the producers are saying,
We bought 4 lights for the players so you can see our faces.
this is huge, and choosing not to look into it made you miss $1,348 of donations that none of us except the
These guys are making math up. You were making math up, Duke.
producers know where it's at. And if you're confused on how I even got to that number of unknown
Unrelated, but it seems like your internet is fixed, so that's neat. Let's not count that chicken before she's hatched, you know?
funds, it's because the producers also say,
In fact, MinMax didn't spend any money on camera equipment, and we were able to return the stuff that we had bought.
We were able to return those microphones and reinvest that money into season 2. We returned $3,000 of what MinMax spent on equipment that didn't end up working.
the only equipment stated that was returned was the audio and the camera equipment, which only totals to $2,363. Meaning on top of the unknown $711 from
I
the
would like to know if Duke actually donated a project in the first place. No, he didn't. Come on. What was he going to do it with his wife's money?
lights, there is an additional
More likely than you think.
$637 of unknown funds in regards to returned equipment. They promised and stated multiple times that they were going to be fully transparent with the budget.
We're gonna have a full, transparent public accounting of how we're using that money.
Promise you a total transparent budgeting of MinMax. He did a budgeting video that was very transparent. In fact, most of the information that he gets comes from our budgeting video because we're trying to be transparent about where we're putting the money.
And when a difference in
Yeah,
pricing like this
He's been a hater since he wasn't invited to the Cool Kids Club.
appears where the actual price is less than half of what they claim to have spent, it prompts questions and highlights the need for proof of what was actually spent. And by how you present yourself in
If they didn't deliver on a product, sure, we could sit around here and start pontificating upon the math and where the money went. But there's a product and it came out. So like, really?
your own video on how you didn't take what I said seriously on screen or not believing anything I showed on screen to be true since I presented everything on a PowerPoint.
Also, please don't miss the fact that that little clip exposes that all of the time and research Duke put into this video went into a freaking PowerPoint presentation. I mean, I prepare a whole media package filled with receipts that I gather over the course of days, weeks, sometimes even months. I have thousands of words written in a script and notes ready to go, so I'm ready to present this information in a consumable way. I could have just been making a PowerPoint presentation the whole time and like winging it. I'm missing out.
Then I guess that means you don't believe what MinMax showed in their fully transparent budget videos since what they presented was also on a PowerPoint.
Bro, he's making a dig at you, okay? He's not making a extreme point, okay? Crispy, they're making a dig at you, okay? Stop trying to act smug, all right? The only reason that you're making a PowerPoint is because you have no discernible skills, okay? You're bad at editing videos. You're a doofus, okay? And your highest quality trait is your ability to not be funny.
I understand how hard it can be to believe me, especially if this is what people saw me say. And
Careful. Duke's like, man, I'm an expert in Canva, okay? You put some respect on my name. I've been repping a Canva Pro since day one.
the producer's response video about the lighting setup.
Another thing gets brought up is the lighting setup we had.
They also showed off the lighting. They said they spent $1,300 on lighting. It would have cost them $1,000. I'm upset at this compared to what my thing is.
So actually, the recommendation that he makes in the video is the one that we did. I don't really understand the discrepancy about how much money that should have been. That's the price of the equipment.
Yeah, I'll admit, if you hear what I'm saying, it sounds like I'm angry and jealous, and I'm just trying to find
You are angry and jealous.
everything wrong with what they did at this point and just trying to prove that I could have done a better job. And I was actually shocked to hear that they did what I suggested in terms of—
Don't look at the description, lol. He was petty and made something just for Crispy as a dunk. It's so funny.
lighting.
I can't
I was
wait.
shocked because I never go into full detail on how to set up the lighting. And you would have known that too, since you state in your video multiple times that you watched my video.
Well, I checked out what he said. You see, when I watch Duke's videos, if you watch Duke's original video, when he published his video, I watched it within hours.
And since you did, you would have noticed that the producers edited that clip to make me sound like I was angry at them for not doing it my way. And
Yeah. Dude, you literally gave a PowerPoint presentation in your description of how you would get it done and how you would make it happen. You have a my way.
seeing the single frames left in where
You
the cuts
literally have a my way.
happened when they were piecing and altering my words
This guy is Quantum TV, but with D&D.
together. But I understand that you do your due diligence and proper journalism when it comes to this stuff.
Dude, this guy is molding like crazy. He's so fucking felted. Holy shit, this guy is felted as fuck.
So I understand if you can't take my word for it and need the proper evidence. So going off of the advice you gave me in our Discord conversation, I'm going to take that advice and use it now to show you a comparison between MinMax's video and my original video in regards to the lighting setup. They also showed off the lighting.
He's
they said
not
they spent
Quantum TV till he strikes someone. Hey, man. It's not over till the fat lady sings.
$1,300 on lighting. It would have cost them $1,000. I'm upset at this compared to what my thing
I
is.
hope he strikes me so I can get all the attention. I'm sitting here. I want to get in the ring. I want to get in this one. I want to get in this fight.
They also showed off the lighting. They said they spent $1,300 on lighting. I saw the lighting, and some of the lights I use in my own studio. Some of the lights that I used at live shows. And guess what?
That's crazy. You're all rubes. Sorry, these lights suck.
They could have used 4 LED aperture lights, and if they would have just lit them—
I don't even think you know. Aperture is the premium brand, dude. Like at least get the plastic Amrons, dude. Unless you're like doing some hardcore run and gun, you're good with a plastic body.
in a correct way, and maybe got 2
He's gonna call Cell Sword Arts Mom.
stands if they wanted to. It would have cost them $1,000. They ended up going a different route and spending an extra $376. I have made decisions like this. I have bought things being like, I think I need this, blah, blah, blah. I end up buying it, realizing that I never really needed it in the first place. And the difference between why I'm upset at this compared to what my thing is because majority of the time, all of that funds came out of my own pocket. I paid for them. They used not their own money. They used fan support for all of this. And again, that is why I'm upset. And now a question for you, Crispy, since you posted your video regarding the situation, and by our conversation, it sounds like you only post these videos when you have all of the facts straight. So can you share with me on why MinMax purposely edited out the main reason I was upset and instead made it look like—
No, the main reason you were upset is because you're a petulant baby. Okay? It's because you're a little guy with 1 HP and you weren't invited to the cool kids club.
like I was mad at them for not doing things my way?
Yes, you were mad at them for not doing things my way. Crispy is 100% like that opinion is 100% above board.
I'm just curious. I would really like to know. Let's move on to what Crispy has to say about the producers.
What a smug little shitter, dude. Crispy, everything I've seen so far, except that one thing about the tablets, Crispy's been on it. Crispy's been on it. You are doing nothing but trying to poison the well and ruin Crispy's credibility, which, by the way, again, it's not like I'm a fan of Crispy, right? But like, this is such a bold and obvious attempt to try and poison the well and ruin Crispy's coverage because you personally don't like Crispy. Okay? It has nothing to do with anything Crispy said and everything to do with how fucking molding and felted you are.
holding back $47,000 worth of funds for future seasons.
If you need more context as to what he's talking about, Duke is upset because they raised $100,000, but they really only needed like $20,000 in order to make the first season happen. So after paying for taxes and paying for fees,
yeah, they edited it out to kill you with kindness and directly not call you a petulant, jealous man baby.
Took the rest of the money and saved it for future season, which I think is really smart. Duke disagrees. See, he accuses MinMax of holding this money in suspicious manner because what if season 2 doesn't happen? Season 2 is just a what if. What if your show fails? Then what are you gonna do with the money? You're gonna run away with it to Colombia or something? No, Duke. You got it completely backwards.
Being annoying isn't a moral failing, yeah.
Number one, we didn't want to throw all of this money at season 1. We can't tell a good enough story in that amount of time.
By holding back the money that we did, we guarantee future seasons. And I know in the video he kind of claims that it's only if season 1 does well, but that's not the case. We held it back.
Yeah, they were extremely nice to him in their response, and this guy continues to try and call them scammers.
If season 1 doesn't do well, we are guaranteed another season, and I think another season after that.
Yeah, for anyone with more than 2 brain cells bouncing around their head, that would be obvious.
As someone
Dude, these like the... If there's one thing I could say to Crispy is that they need some better jabs, okay? Because... because Mr. throwing it back over here is a lot more than just 2 brain cells bouncing around in there, okay? You're telling me Discount Jeff Dunham doesn't have more things we could roast him on?
who is the proud owner of having 2 brain cells, I used one brain
Yeah, he's clip chipping the hell out of Crispy.
cell to understand their reasoning by saving the money for future seasons, and I used
the
other brain cell to ask the question on what if season 1...
So you do have 2 brain cells. That's an interesting find there. So you use 1 brain cell for one thing and not one for another. It's interesting that your brain is made up of 2 single neurons. Interesting how you seem to have such an empty mind. I didn't know there was just 2 of them in there.
Doesn't do well. That question has not been addressed by the producers and is a possible outcome because...
Quick, Duke, spell producers.
What does happen to 47,000?
What are you picking up dice with lead in them? Like, what's going on, man?
Dollars of donations.
Did you do the horny bard thing too much? Do you have like Gooner's disease where your brain atrophies?
You even showed it in your clip when they say...
But that's not the case. We held it back in case season 1 doesn't do well. We are guaranteed another season, and I think another season after that.
There is no guarantee that future...
Duke looks like a dentist ad moonlighting as a crypto bro, but the only crypto he invests in are
he
memes
looks
like Pepe and Doge.
He looks like the Atlas Earth animated guy. He looks like the animated guy from the Atlas Earth ads.
Seasons will happen, and they even state it in their budget.
Dude, this guy is so felted. I've never seen a guy lose harder. Holy shit. Holy shit. He's so fucking cucked. He's so fucking cucked.
And that means we're hoping that, I mean, the money we've got here will easily do 2 more seasons.
For
if
sure.
everything goes well.
I
If
mean,
everything
you
goes well.
automatically get 3 seasons of Min-Max.
Assuming everything goes well and the thing explodes. Yeah. But, no, okay, fine. But maybe more.
And they even proved to their own audience that because some of their own guarantees to the audience didn't even happen. And I will get into that when Crispy brings up those topics. At this point, it seems they look at seasons being guaranteed only because...
He only has 2 brain cells because he needed to make room for all the stolen jokes.
because they have the money rather than the fan support. To give an example on how future seasons are determined, what happens if a TV series doesn't perform well in their first season? It's usually canceled
It's
because...
not a fucking TV show. Yes, Nerdy John is 100% on point right now. Another issue throughout this entire thing is Duke is treating it like a TV production when it's a group of creators who are friends wanting to do a D&D channel. Yes. Yes.
There weren't enough people watching and supporting it. And even though the TV series
Dude,
might
the only thing worse is he could say he didn't do the math right because he was out looking at boulders.
have had the funding for future seasons, it doesn't change the fact that the demand...
What is he filming in, by the way? Shit looks like an elementary school science lab. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's the OneShot Questers TV lounge, okay? That's a tavern that his wife has so graciously paid for.
isn't there. So, like you stated
She's like,
in your
okay,
own
honey,
video,
you can have your little room. Well, technically, he's not even a big D&D guy, so it's his missus who's into it.
Is that it's so early to be making any sort of judgment calls for success or for failure.
I think it's perfectly fine at this point for donors to ask how their money will be spent for future seasons and what will happen to their money if season 1 doesn't do well, since
This is the kind of guy who sits down at your D&D table, rolls his like shit in secret. If season 1 fails, they'll still make season 2. The D&D thing isn't their primary income source. They're doing it for fun. Does Mr. Roland not understand what doing something for fun is? Hey, Axis, you got to understand that this guy is solely a man of intense monetary gain, okay? It's all about the grind set for him.
These are both possible outcomes. And again, let me state that this is $47,000 of people's hard-earned money on the line here. And they kind of only know the answer to one of those questions. The next segment, Crispy goes
Tavern has an AC unit. I know, completely ruins my immersion.
over is how the producers handled the GoFundMe when it was live. And Crispy, thank you once again for telling me that I needed to take more time with my research, because what I uncovered clarifies misinformation being spread by fans.
He's really trying to use the Crispy thing as the bounce and layup here. Are you serious?
Next, and yourself. So let's listen to what you have to say.
Another bit of context that they added, though they really didn't have to, considering, I mean, I was there for the GoFundMe. I saw this happen. They add the context that they turned off the donation button. Once again, they did not want $100,000, but that's what they got, so they may as well use it. Duke is really upset about this.
Nah, man, you gotta understand that Duke is like one of those r/D&D horror stories. It was like, yeah, we were just going to his house to hang out as friends, and there was nothing but adults in the room, but then he said we all couldn't swear, and then he demanded that we do a show together.
Like, he ranted about it in comment after comment, and even pinned a comment talking about how they dared to keep the donation button open for 4 whole days. Duke, it was a holiday weekend. They were, like, spending time with their family.
I do appreciate you bringing up that the producers were with their families, but what I'm confused about is why you didn't show your audience the clip of them stating that. There's a phrase they use that makes their entire statement untrue, as well as the statements.
What are you talking about? It was over Thanksgiving weekend.
Just me. So just so your audience still receives the facts on what you state you get for them, here is what the producer said about handling the GoFundMe.
One of the things he says in the comments that we should have ended the GoFundMe sooner because we blew our budget out of the water. And it was live for less than a week. We ended it while we were away at Thanksgiving with our families.
We set this thing up, and we originally had a goal.
Yeah, we ended it during the holiday week of Thanksgiving.
10K just to buy plane tickets, and then we modified the goal to 20 when we saw we might hit that, and then we kind of didn't look at it, and it exploded, and we actually ended it.
Well, you didn't look at it because you were away with your family at Thanksgiving. I understand the context. He's 100% trying to change the context here based off of what they've said. I know that is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to be like, well, you can see from the context here that they just didn't look at it.
I think within 4 days, because we didn't want a ballooning budget.
They state they kind of didn't look at it.
Oh, what a fucking surprise. What a fucking surprise. No, you fucking buffoon. Okay? All right? Now you're doing a Lilu Dallas multi-pass. Okay? Because you're deliberately ignoring the context that provides the reason for them not looking at it, because they present those things in a backwards fashion. So you were saying that it's deliberately something else, even though somebody with more than 2 brain cells, of which you have said that you have 2, can tell what they're talking about. You're deliberately misinterpreting it, okay? Or your literary abilities actually do fall underneath the weight of a 4th grader.
Now, I'm going to go off of a creator standpoint here, so bear with me. If they state that they saw they were about to raise $10,000 and then proceeded to raise the goal to $20,000 for a project that a creator would be passionate about making, it would be very weird for a creator to not monitor it, especially if comments state that
Hey, why aren't you normal people paying attention to this terminally online shit, okay, while you're... Why would you pay attention to that? I'm sorry. When I'm at Thanksgiving, you know what I'm doing? I'm eating food, spending time with those I love.
$1,000 was reached.
What does
in
Duke
less than
look like? What a 9-year-old thinks is a cool adult looks like? Yeah.
Hour.
I bet this guy is a real freak for Walmart graphic t-shirts.
In 3 hours and $25,000 in just 4 hours. Again, as a creator, If there was money coming in that fast into a project that I was passionate about, I know I wouldn't just forget to look at it. But
Yeah, you know you wouldn't forget to look at it because you're a fucking little money-grubbing troll.
instead be monitoring it, which is what the producers did. And I know they did because other talent are part of MinMax and the producers themselves posting these videos.
So that's pretty crazy.
He's also not, this guy is not the main guy. This is not, it's Sellsword that is running the ship here.
Hey, you got.
Do you think he was white knuckling the GoFundMe, like watching that money going up, yelling, "It should have been me"? Yeah, of course.
You guys rock. And on this Thanksgiving Day, I just want to say how thankful I am for all of you.
Jacques the Whipper is not Sellsword Arts.
That is extraordinary. We are working on some stretch goals and some extra things. Stay tuned. We got a meeting coming up next week where we're going to be going over logistics, planning, and exactly what we're going to put some of that money towards.
Is wild. And I am...
This motherfucker in England, they don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. It was just a normal Thursday for him, bro.
super grateful. We've all been completely overwhelmed by how much support there has been for this game. We are putting together a meeting as soon as possible so that we can discuss what to do.
So we did
Yeah, he keeps treating it like a TV production.
And then you guys did a lot of things.
And now we get to do a lot of cool things.
We are blown away by the support we've seen in the last few days.
We were all scattered for the holidays, and we didn't really expect to have to make a response until we got back, but the response has been so overwhelming we needed to make a video. We're gonna let the fundraiser go to the end of the day so Ben can post his video.
Okay, wait a second. Yeah, so he's treating it like they were paying attention to it, but this is them responding last minute and then saying, we're gonna let this go until the day is over. So this doesn't prove your point at all. This actually really doesn't prove your point at all. This just proves that they were spending time with people and then noticed the Kickstarter, or the GoFundMe, excuse me, had hit its goal, and then they said it'll go until the end of the day.
We are gonna be closing it tonight at midnight. Hey guys, welcome to MinMax. Not this. This
This is still the same day. What?
my childhood home.
You're treating it like... You're treating it like they just left it up to, like, milk the fans, dude. Again, yeah, Nerdy John mentioned this very specifically. If they wanted to milk the fans, they would have left it up for an obscene amount of time.
Because I'm with my family celebrating Thanksgiving. We didn't think we were gonna have to make an announcement this quick, but you guys blew the fundraiser so far out of the water, I thought that I needed to say something, and that thing I wanted to say
They
is
only kept it going so they could, yeah, post their shit. Yeah.
thank you. And we decided to launch our Kickstarter to get it all going, and you guys absolutely blew it out of the water. It was insane. Within a day, we'd hit our goal, and then we doubled, tripled, quadrupled that goal, and now, this isn't just a tiny little D&D project anymore. This is gonna be epic.
He's pulling a DSP, yeah. Yeah, money raised according to each day of the GoFundMe was live. So right until the 28th. And then on the 28th, they responded, and he said it would go to midnight. And then at midnight, they took it down. None of what they said is incorrect, wrong, or malicious in the slightest.
As shown by the evidence, there was communication happening between talent as...
It was 24 hours before they took it down. They would have all found out about it at the same exact time.
early as November 27th, 2 days after the launch of the GoFundMe. Talent stated that there were talks about planning a meeting. And
I'm sorry, but like when I'm offline, I'm not online to answer questions.
I don't think a meeting can be planned without the producers a part of that conversation. And yes, they probably couldn't pause the GoFundMe because like what they and you state.
We ended it while we were away at Thanksgiving with our families.
It was a holiday weekend. They were like spending time with their family.
That logic is flawed because if they didn't have...
That logic is flawed. They have no families. You know how hard it is to argue against, like, yeah, we weren't around to turn it off. I was spending time with the people I love. Like, how do you fight that? Like, how do you fight? There's no argument you can present that gets you the win on that one.
The time to pause the GoFundMe because they were with their families. How did the producers find the time to make and post a short form video and an edited long form video thanking their audience at least 7 hours before the GoFundMe officially closed? And in those same videos, another claim you make is also flawed.
They add the context that they turned off the donation button. Once again, they did not want $100,000.
If the producers truly didn't want $100,000, they would have closed the GoFundMe when they posted their thank you video displaying $88,000. Instead, they left it open and ran another advertisement. To me,
because they didn't close it down the instant it happened. I'm sorry. I'm not plugged into my computer 24/7. Oh, God.
That doesn't sound like a creator.
Yeah, those are just fucking TikToks, bro. You make
who
TikToks,
you claim
you fucking clown.
Doesn't want $100,000. The number one thing,
like that's insane. This is an insanely pedantic argument that is not winning you any favors. Because it's like, why weren't they 100% on the ball? Okay? Why were they cooking turkeys and kissing the people that they love and being thankful for having people in their life that are supportive of them? Okay? Why are they doing that when they should be pocket watching their GoFundMe?
I saw written in my own comments on my initial video was that they closed the GoFundMe.
What a soulless homunculus. What a fucking cretin. Okay? What an absolute wretched creature. Holy shit.
In 24 hours, and they urged people to donate to charity instead. Since many took what other comments were saying as fact instead of doing their own research, this misinformation began to spread like wildfire, and that is the reason why I turned off comments on this video.
Yeah, because you're felted. You turned off comments because you're felted.
Help stop the spread of even more misinformation.
Yeah. I've never heard that one before. Has there been a drama where the guy took off comments because he didn't? I swear I've heard that before.
And I would like to say that there was misinformation being spread about me, painting me in a better picture and support.
You know what this does? This makes me go, yeah, man. When it comes time for me to collect, I might as well cash in, right? Like I should have just left it up until I make 500K. Like in no universe where should I be like litigious about it. I should just milk as much as possible.
Me in the comments, and I don't even want that misinformation going out because that's not true. So to set the fact,
you're so fucking felted. You're so fucking felted. Almost as felted as the hair on your Howdy Doody doll. I'm sorry, that's like so funny. I can't get over the fact that this guy's a ventriloquist.
Straight about the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe was open for 4 days, and there is no evidence of the producers saying to donate to charity. Although there is proof of one of the on-screen talent of MinMax who did say to stop donating to the GoFundMe and to donate to charity instead.
But in the meantime, please stop. This is more than we need. And there are so many charitable causes out there. So if you really want to donate some money, go donate to a good cause. We're good. Thank you.
So after taking your advice and doing my due diligence within my own research, Crispy, can I ask you if you still agree with your statement about how the producers handled the GoFundMe?
Yes. You're so fucking felted. Crispy is dog walking you, bro. How are you losing a fight in a video? How are you losing a fight in a video?
Now, if you thought the GoFundMe...
He is a ventriloquist, we can tell because he's talking straight out of his ass.
...was a headache, wait till we talk about the lack of live action in the MinMax D&D live play. This is what...
not to be that guy, but can you do any action? Can you do anything? You know, let's get really into the weeds about this. Can you comment on live action at all? Because unless you can personally do it, I don't want to hear it.
Crispy had to say about it.
He harped on about another thing that was promised in the GoFundMe.
Can I point out how vile it is to take the Archer guy's genuine moment as a dig against the production? Yeah, I know.
That these martial arts creators would film live action fight scenes for the camera. Now, I bought into this. I mean, I assumed that kind of thing was going to happen because these people all do fight choreography stuff. So, you know, it makes sense they'd recreate these moves in real life. But obviously there was a massive snowstorm, so I completely understood why those scenes weren't going to be present for season 1. However, in the MinMax response video, they explained that that's not true. They never promised live action scenes at all.
It could be disappointing.
It's important to note that that's not one of the promises that we made because we knew we couldn't deliver that in season 1.
Oh my god,
Is this D&D show even good? I mean, it depends. Do you like live plays? I'm not really somebody that is interested in those things, despite being really passionate and loving D&D and TTRPGs. It's just not how I engage with the hobby. But I think if you're somebody that doesn't have a table to play at, maybe you can go take a look and see if it's something for you. It really depends whether or not the personalities are something that you want.
Our guy, but yeah, no, Duke got me. You gaslighted me wholly and fully, my guy. Congratulations. Yeah, this promise was never made, though they are promising to do it for season 2, something that Duke was once again very, very upset about.
Okay, Crispy, I am so happy you made the same mistake that I and
this guy feels like evil peanut butter gamer. This guy doesn't have normal boots. He has crazy boots.
Many others did, because yes, they never verbally stated that there would be live action, but it does seem like there were plans to do it.
No, I like running my own live play. I don't like watching live plays. It's like I like to play baseball. I don't like to watch baseball. I don't like either of those things, but like I'm using it as an example.
Up to the day of filming.
And we fully intended to use the type of microphone we had because we thought we were going to be getting up more.
And then over here, we have the soundboard that connects all of their lapel microphones together to record everyone's voice at the same time, but still allow those yahoos to get up and walk around and do their acrobatics and whatnot and still be able to hear them.
So they bought these mics for a certain reason, and we already know in their response video that it wasn't for getting up and moving minis and terrain around, because that's something they state that wasn't possible for season 1.
The next issue he brings up is that we should have used minis or terrain.
And logistically, that just wasn't possible for season 1.
They bought the mics as well so the tech guy can still hear them when they do their acrobatics. But they're saying that they never promised live action because they couldn't deliver it. So why get
but they've already planned for seasons 2 and 3 because there was so much money, which is why they're able to get that done for the future.
Those mics, and why would the tech guy say that? I don't know. I'm confused. But Crispy, you are
also the tech guy isn't where the buck stops. Like, people on a production might have different interpretations of what the production is, but you don't really understand the full totality of a production until you go to the people where the buck stops. So it's like, why is the tech guy's word taken at face value but not Sellsword Arts is beyond me.
Right, that they did promise they would do live action scenes in season 2. But I'm shocked you stopped the clip there, because if you kept going for a minute and 30 seconds longer, the producers state that they will. And then they won't. And then they won't, but still have live action scenes in season 2. I just watch the clip.
It's important to note that that's not one of the promises that we made because we knew we couldn't deliver that in season 1.
Yeah, we knew we couldn't deliver that in season 1.
But we are working on it for season 2. We've already talked about
But we are working on it for season 2. The language is so clear. What the fuck?
We want to go back and do the highlights of this campaign now that we have the whole thing, and we'll have a little bit more time in the production next season. Also, we're trying to incorporate more physicality into the D&D when it's not freezing in the studio. And I know that's not much compensation if you were really expecting it in this season, but we're hoping the small in-between things we've been doing will make up for that.
And even this isn't us.
Yeah, like none of that sounds wrong or bad at all. It sounds like that's for the future. It'll come eventually.
This idiot
Promising
forgot
we'll
they
do more
do
of it.
acrobatics and movement for the intro of the show.
Well, you gotta understand, Axis, is that he didn't fucking watch it.
In future seasons, we want to try, but
when the person living your dream is hot, it hurts even more. Yeah, so true.
We don't know if it's even possible.
And even after saying all of that, if you look at their Q&A pin comment on episode 1 at the time of recording this on Monday, March 16th, 2026, it still states that there will be some live action for future seasons. This pin comment,
that's for like the future,
was made before the producer's response video, and it was also edited after the response video. So if they're stating they aren't promising live action, then they should have went back to change the pin comment, but they haven't.
No, they're not promising live action for season 1. Why are we mincing words over this? What are you doing, tabletop DSP?
Yeah, so that just leaves
damn OneShot Questers. Fucking hell.
Questions. Especially when the producers say this right after stating they aren't promising live action.
This campaign is evolving as it goes, and we're being careful about what we can and can't promise, but we really want you to know that we love what we're doing and we want to make it better, and we're going to do everything that we can to do that.
We honestly do not know if live action will even happen because the producers can't make up.
Somebody should raise $100,000 to put this guy in a fucking dunk tank, bro. Holy shit.
Their mind. And honestly, I don't.
Holy fuck. Somebody get this guy a big red nose and some white face paint.
Blame you for being confused about this. Now, the question to ask is what led people to assume that there was going to be live action scenes within the Min-Max D&D live play, you know, besides all of these people being martial artists and...
Hello, Hill. I'm here to die on you. Close enough. Welcome back, Don Quixote.
You know, handling their weapons and whatnot. Well, it could be what Min-Max was posting and what the viewers saw leading up to the debut of episode 1 of Min-Max.
His ear is back in his hat. You gotta understand that his ears are cold, okay? From all the wind that's in his fucking face.
And asked.
All the hot air he produces.
Asked. And asked. And asked.
Would you guys play D&D together?
And we decided that would be a great idea.
As long as I don't need to play a bard.
But we think playing normal D&D would be boring. And we know you want to
I don't know how you can be the guy with the whip and then not play a bard. You know what I mean.
see us as D&D characters.
So we're going to play ourselves.
Trying to roll for stats. Roll number 2.
Dude, I swear to God, being able to hit something with a whip with serious control is such an aura farming thing, dude. He's such a normal looking guy, and he's sitting there swinging a whip with absolutely like, oh my god, it's so nerdy, but that's so fucking aura farmy.
Just like last time, I'm gonna stack an ice block on top of my target stand. I'm gonna set a D6 on top of that, smash the entire thing with my giant metal D20, and what it rolls is what I get.
You know his wife is very happy.
Nice! Okay.
Diesel wants to be the chair.
Rapier and Dagger is one of those popular combos because you can defend and attack at the same time. And before you say it's not possible, I'm fighting, off and throw. Fencing, swashing my buckles, and knife. Fencing, swashing my buckles, knife.
I would want to use this sort of whip because it's small enough, short enough, that I can still use it quickly and feel like I'm not leaving myself open with big swing motions. Dent in the bottom of the can.
It probably won't shock you
Bro,
to
he hurt that LaCroix real bad.
hear that I really like archery. And while I can do a fair amount in real life, or fast, agile warrior monks, launching volleys on the fly, following them up with rapid close quarters strikes, and then dodging back out of danger before making their next shot.
Dude, all this is doing is making them look way cooler than him. I'm sorry, but if you see a nerd who could, like, kill someone with a fucking sword or bow, and then they go and they play a game, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna play the guy with the bow. I'm sorry, but, like, do you know how many nerds wish they could do a quarter of the things that these amazing people are doing? All he's doing is making these people seem super cool and amazing, dude. Fun fact, Jacques the Whipper holds the world record holds the world record for speed whipping.
And after witnessing all of that, the audience is finally introduced to a 2-hour, normal, but entertaining D&D live play. Hi, Editing Duke here, man. I just got...
Yeah, who gives a shit, dude? I'm sorry. They said they're going to go back and try and do some of the stuff from Season 1 if they can, but that'll be a thing moving forward with Season 2.
I give credit where credit is due. I'm editing the part where they're showcasing their skills and their weapon techniques into applying how to create a D&D character, and man, like... all of the stuff they're doing is so cool. Like
this guy is so pelted. This guy is so pelted. He's so pelted. Dude, he's trying to own them. And then he's like, yeah, that's really cool. They're really cool. Also, this guy seems to be putting his, Oh, okay. Okay, I thought he was doing his captions manually. I was like, holy shit, this guy's crazy.
I hope people get to see more of that because it really is so cool. I also want to point out that we need to ask that same question in regards to the production of Min-Max.
That's so funny. It's so funny. He's so...
The two biggest critiques were the lack of live action and the final product of Min-Max. So to ask the question...
Dude, he's really hunting for those comments, man.
...led people to assume that the final product of Min-Max was going to be of a higher quality. Again, it could be what was being said about what to expect from Min-Max.
We want to do some really
cool things. Not everybody's going to be happy with everything that you produce, man.
Things like build a set and have a cool...
Whip guy is insanely rizful. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was like, crazy.
Video setup with cool angles and stuff.
We're so grateful for the support and trust that the community has put into us, and we are going to make something really cool.
All the money you guys donated to the project will go back into the project to make it as awesome as it can possibly be.
And now, this isn't just a tiny little D&D project anymore. This is going to be epic. But now, because of you, we're really going to be able to make this campaign come to life. We've got a team that's going to help us record, edit, and produce this at a high quality. We've got artists who are going to come and help bring this world to life. We've got set designers who are going to make it so it's immersive and fun.
We are back in the studios after the holidays.
All
and we are
of you, damn.
hard at work to make this the most epic collaboration we've ever done.
It's gonna be so cool. So we're partnering with Dark Hour or Still Be Studios to do the set. They're building the gaming table,
Which is super cool.
Alexa, please play Stand By
Yeah,
Eminem.
it really truly is like Stand by Eminem type shit.
Cool.
Luckily, we have an awesome tech person that Megan knows that's going to come in and handle the tech during the show. So we decided that we wanted to do D&D Beyond on the tablets because we'll be able to look at people's tablets in real time, and the tech guy is going to be able to do all that. It's going to be really cool.
And even after saying all of that, in the response video, the producers say this.
And I want to talk a little bit about the budget and the expectations.
It seems like he was expecting a professional D&D production level quality.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to pull off a crit roll season 3 production level with the experience we have and the budget that we have.
So true, so true.
Try.
No, we were trying to do what we said we were going to do, bring all of our people together and create a cool game and try and make it multiple seasons. Look, I can really understand. If somebody was expecting a crit roll level of production, if you see $100,000 and you think that can make a lot of stuff, if you have these expectations and you get something you weren't expecting...
What's the show's name again? Min-maxed.
It can be a big downer, and I really feel for you if you were expecting something or you donated and you didn't get what you want, and I'm sorry that we couldn't give you that.
It would be crazy if he was part of like some guerrilla marketing initiative.
really are.
We really need to reiterate that unlike these production big D&D games, this is none of our full-time jobs.
And that brings me to my point of the producers not showing respect to the donors, their funds, or even the viewers supporting MinMaxed.
Wow.
Because what
Oh
they
my
said
God.
and showed to their fan base, it did mislead fans to expect one thing. And when it didn't happen, the
Duke is
producers
just a jealous
backtracked
nerd
and
that's
pretty much
upset
said,
that other nerds actually learn cool skills, have likable personalities, are successful because of it. Yeah, that's really the heart of it, right? When you get down to it, like those guys are cool, they're athletic, they're nerdy. There's a lot of envious nerds like Duke in the world.
it's not our fault you assumed what to expect of MinMaxed. What I am seeing is this community being more than respectful towards the producers since this is their first time putting on a production like this. But there's little to no respect being given back from the
Oh my God.
producers to the community.
They've been nothing but transparent, honest, and kind with everybody. And it's just you grinding your axe.
Since we are on the topic of producers, let's move on to the next point Crispy makes, which is about the producers themselves.
Now, last up, and this is a point that I've basically already said, but this whole show is produced and edited by two people on the cast, Megan and David. The content creators of the show are the producers of the show.
He talks about he has no
Yes.
hate to the creators and is mostly about...
which he's still like doing that glub shitto, like I'm actually again he's mincing words.
The producers, but again, there was no producers. David and Megan did this entire thing basically on their own.
Imagine having time and swords and not trying to become the greatest swordsman. See, if I was more learned in medieval history, I'd be like, all right, blah, blah, blah. And then all the people who are really into that one thing, all right, Sir Roland. There we go. All right, Gawain, sit down. Not everybody has a round table.
Thank you so much for pointing that out, Crispy, because why is it that these two are the only ones producing MinMax when this was said in their first ever video on the MinMax channel?
But now, because of you, we're really going to be able to make this campaign come to life. We've got a team that's going to help us record, edit, and produce this at a high quality. We've got artists who are going to come and help bring this world to life.
Yeah, man, it's like I got a team that's helping me write a book, but like I still have to pass the goal on my own.
We've got set designers who are going to make it so it's immersive and fun.
Fans are being told one thing and then being told
What
another.
a fucking insane clip chat.
Other thing in their budget video 2 months later.
We're going to be filming in the next couple of weeks, and then it's going to take many more months of me editing. Hopefully I can get some help, because it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, hopefully he can get some help.
And another 2 months later go by where they say this.
David is
He's blaming the women already. You can see the chud forming before our eyes.
the editor, and it took him quite a long time to edit episode 1.
Megan and myself are the ones who set up most of the logistics, figured out the tech,
Yeah.
and doing the editing. And by keeping the costs low, by editing it in-house, by not having a bunch of middlemen and producers, we also get to spend your money even more wisely.
So Crispy, let me ask you, Why didn't you bring up the question of what happened to the team that was mentioned to help?
What happened to the team? Oh, okay, not to be that guy, but there's all these other people that are working on all these other different things, okay? But this David has to pass the buck by editing the video, okay? He's not doing the, like, he's doing a bunch of shit, but he's not doing that, okay? Like, you're very much mincing words. There's very clearly a team here of talented and collaborative artists, okay? But because he's the one editing, you're like, what happened to the team? I don't see a team here. Even though you've mentioned a tech guy from earlier and shown off what exactly the tech guy was doing. So you know that there's a team.
Help edit, film, and produce MinMax at a high quality 7 hours before the GoFundMe even ended. The question to ask now is, what happened to that team, and was there even a team to begin with? And this is where I want to come back and talk about how there is no guarantees for MinMax's future at this point, since the producers gave all of these promises and all of these guarantees before episode 1 to only backtrack and say,
like, you need to figure out ways to cut costs.
Nope. Again, that's why I think it's more than appropriate at this point for the community to ask what will happen to the remaining budget if future seasons.
Why does this motherfucker always start getting, like, you know, he gets 1 HP voice and his eyes get all watery. It's like, you're a grown man. You're a grown man. You're gonna cry over this. You're gonna cry, you little pee piss boy.
What happened? And now let's move on to the last and probably the #1 thing Crispy and others have said was
your fucking corny ass resume, your bad CV.
The stupidest thing that I could have done, and that was my entire crash out was just so I could submit my resume.
Which by the way, yeah, you did submit your resume after crashing out, you fucking clown show.
Hired by MinMaxed. Let's just take a look, shall we?
What's in this email he sent to MinMaxed? It's his job application. I'm putting this out there. If any of you would like to see what I'm offering for helping to produce MinMax, here is a link detailing my ideas. Link below is yet another PowerPoint presentation. This guy's got one move and he's going to use it. But yeah, this PowerPoint presentation has Duke's ideas for improving MinMax. They are all the most just generalist, Gary V, useless advice for making the show better. Like, base it off Viva La Dirt, base it off Dimension 20. He volunteers
Yeah, Mr. Ideas guy, yeah.
ridiculous things in the slideshow, though. Like, he volunteers that they should use his studio instead of the studio that, you know, they specially built for the show. Dude, they don't want to use...
What is this guy? Does this guy have, like, a fucking humiliation kink? Because Crispy is absolutely obliterating Duke, dude. Crispy is killing him, dude.
Your studio. They want to use their own. It looks better, to say the least. But even more crazy than that, he says there's 2 bedrooms in this house that the MinMax crew can sleep in. Bro, you want them to sleep in your place after you borderline slandered them? Interesting move, bro. Let's see how it goes. Next up, he talks about the shooting schedule for MinMax. He wants to shoot the entire show.
Dude, the 12-hour days thing was so fucking insane.
Entire D&D campaign. He wants to block shoot it all in one day. A 12 to 14-hour filming session. Bro, I want to die after 3-hour filming sessions. 12 to 14 sounds exhausting, but worse than that, all the martial arts choreography stuff, he also wants to do all the choreography in one day, and then all the shooting directly the next day. Again, sounds like an absolute...
Well, like, I mean, if we're talking about, like, a TV production, an 8-hour day is fine, and then you have another day to do your stunts and shit. Yeah, that's pretty normal. But his A plan with the 12 to 14-hour day is absolutely bananas.
Nightmare, blocking it all out and doing all this shooting for 3
You honestly, if you have the time, having a completely separate day just for blocking is pretty gangbusters, okay? Like, if I can get a whole day to do a run-through of a complicated, heavy movement scene, that's great, okay? Because it's really difficult to pull that stuff off by shooting from the hip.
Continuous, non-stop days of filming? Ugh, especially since martial arts are athletically draining. This is just a presentation that shows, once again, that Duke doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy's driving me nuts.
In order of how things played out, with me posting an aggressive call-out video to MinMax, to them responding, and then myself posting my resume in the comments of the response video, yeah, it was dumb. Would it have been a smart move to not submit it and not just, you know, dig myself a bigger hole? Yes, it would have. But did it show...
This guy's so felted. He's so felted.
That I was being serious, that I wanted to see MinMax succeed.
Oh, it showed... Oh, that's why you did it? Because you wanted to show... You wanted to really put your money where your mouth is? That's funny. That's funny. Because to me, it looked like you really wanted to get invited to the cookout.
considering I took the time to write everything out and post that.
Guys, you gotta understand, he took 30 minutes to make a really ugly PowerPoint presentation. You gotta understand, he actually cared.
Information to the public. Yes. If I didn't want to see min-max
This guy is older than me and he has a weaker resume. What the fuck?
succeed, I wouldn't have put any effort into making that resume or offering my services and resources for free, which would help their case if they actually mean it at this point, that they want to keep costs low.
We try to keep expenses on the min-max channel as low as possible. And by keeping the costs low, we also get to spend your money even more wisely. We are being the best stewards of your money that we can.
I understand the mess that I created. And honestly,
No,
it would have been
I don't
even
think you did.
more unfair to the producers if I held back information that could.
What do you mean, held back information that you would have gladly hosted these strangers in your house?
Help min-max approve. And yes, Crispy, yes, I will agree with you on what you say about my resume here.
They are all the most just generalist, Gary V, useless advice for making the show better.
What I presented as my final version for the product is boring and unoriginal, and I will acknowledge that. So, if you would allow me to present a new version of how—
No! Guys, I know I fumbled first time and a second, but could you really hear me out for a third time? This time it's gonna be different.
min-max could be produced that is more unique, then here it is. And I am saying this on record, that no one needs to credit me or even ask me to be a part of this. These ideas and or concepts are free for anyone to use. Min-max and to any of the other talent that happens to be watching this video, my new suggestion for you to make this even cooler and epic than it already is answered in your promo video.
This is DSP levels of self-belting.
But we think playing normal D&D would be boring. And we know you want to see us as D&D characters.
Don't just play D&D. Become D&D. You guys have an entire warehouse in the palm of your hands that you showed that you're able to go around. And
so we should make a nostalgia critic to boldly go film. Is that what we should
explore
do?
And even do live action scenes within
What was
it.
the fantasy one? The Lord of the Rings one? What was the second movie?
Have the DM go through and create a one-shot that takes you through the entire warehouse where you guys, the talent, are making real-life skill checks. You're having to actually...
Really? We should make a LARP TV show? We should make a LARP TV show? No, because that would be too much. That would be super corny. Oh yeah, suburbia or whatever the fuck, yeah.
Search for things, and when the skill checks happen, you guys could show how really cool it might be or really comedic depending on what you roll. You guys could just do so much more than sit in a setup just playing D&D.
Yeah, why aren't these guys doing a bunch of flips for 12 hours a day?
Those D&D characters, become those D&D characters, because what would be really freaking cool as well—
That's what I think you would do, Diesel, complete with no catering in the middle of the desert. Oh my god, a LARPing TV show? A LARPing YouTube show sounds horrendous. I feel like it would be so cringe to do that. Like having the cutaways from the live play to action set pieces is better, okay? Suburban Nights, yeah. Suburban Nights, like doing nothing but the LARP is cringe. But a little bit of action in between the regular D&D is fine. But once it's a LARP that long, that's one of those things where it's like I'd rather be playing baseball than watching baseball.
Not only could people donate to make this happen, but you could also bring those people to be a part of the creation of this. Your final thing, the final thing of this episode, or this entire campaign or season, whatever you guys want to call it, the ending, after you guys go through the entire warehouse and you explore and you have a good time, you go outside or within the warehouse, I don't know how big it is, and you have a setup where fans and audiences can come and watch you guys have an actual combat session against potentially local LARPers.
Okay. So what if we had the Doom guy fight a coughing baby?
How cool would it be for each one of your guys' names to be called out, and you guys...
He is unironically pitching the straw man of Calvin Ball. This is no longer a live play. It was called The Quest, and it only lasted 1 season. I need to watch The Quest.
Just hear a roar from your fans cheering you on. And then, for but you still play it like actual D&D. You roll the D20, and depending on what you get, you're hearing the reaction from the audience. And at the same time, you guys are showcasing how certain attacks could hit or miss. All of you are so talented. So why are you sitting down and playing D&D? Become D&D. That would be so cool.
This guy is such a fucking insane person. This guy is insane. This idea is so infinitely more expensive and so infinitely more ridiculous. He's dog packed 404. He's crashing out because he's outside the club.
That would be epic. And again, I can't tell you guys what to do. I can't tell you that this is the right way to go. But like, that would be something your audience would just die to see, and I know it.
Well, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That's completely untenable.
Getting to the point of my YouTube career where I would just rather produce stuff and help produce stuff rather than being, you know.
Yeah, oh my God. You know who also was doing something like that? Def Noodles.
The front end talent and also the writer.
You actually don't know how to produce. I'm seeing is what I'm seeing.
And the editor, it's all exhausting, man. I would just rather be able to put all of my energy and time into the producing of something rather than having to split all my time. And this isn't me saying that MinMax should hire me for this production if this is the direction they want to go. I'm going to be straight up honest. I burned that bridge. I burned that bridge with MinMax and the creators there, and I burned that bridge with the community. And I honestly feel like if they did bring me on, if we happen to make amends, I
really
personally feel like if they did bring me on to MinMax, that it would.
This guy is still trying to be like, we could still make something beautiful together, you and I. Are you serious? Oh my God. Why is he still asking to get invited, dude? He's like, I know that I've absolutely tried to ruin you guys, but you should bring me on. We would make something amazing.
Not help MinMax in any way, and it would actually hurt it more. So,
baby, I won't hurt you again, I promise.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys the idea, and I am saying that I totally understand what I did, and that I'm not looking for you guys to bring.
Dude, the comments on this would be brutal
in any way. That is all I have to say. And that is all the information that I have regarding these issues. I hope what I provided helps clear up any confusion and misinformation being spread around regarding the situation. And if
dude, you are really trying to swing wide.
Any of you would like any additional information, please reach out to me and I'll be happy to provide what I can. If you would like to see my research on points that I didn't cover
Doesn't
in
a
this
channel
video
already
in
do
regards
this? The one with the really hot pink tiefling cosplay lady?
I have no idea what that is, but I should totally get a link for that.
Crispy's video, there will be a Google Docs link found in the description that I wrote and provide the research myself.
There's no way you fucking include a Google Docie, dude. Do you put a Google Docie in here?
To all of you who stayed till the very end.
There's no way you're crying. You're crying. You're crying.
I just want to say thank you for hearing me out, even if you agree or disagree with me at this point.
He's so old. He's so old. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, my God. Additional information and research. Oh, is this just timestamps of him crashing out Giga style? Oh. Oh my God. What is there anything in here that's worth my time and attention, or is this just like a insano person docky that is the Google Doc is just a middle finger to Crispy? Okay. Crispy shows a huge dip in views from OneShot Questers channel on deleting videos. Duke. The huge dip that is shown is from March 2024. During this time, many YouTubers were advising to separate long-form and short-form videos into 2 different channels. And that's exactly what I did. I privated all my shorts and re-uploaded them to an old channel I had. Realizing by the YouTube community that it wasn't that big of an issue for fans or channels, I privated all my shorts on my new shorts channel, and I had made them public on my main YouTube channel once again. So the dip is because I privated all my shorts, but now they are back. How would he have known that? Crispy brings up my failed streaming platform and laying off employees. If I wrote everything out, it would be longer than the script I made for the video, so I'm going to provide the bullet points. Why the streaming service? In 2023, the thing to do for bigger creators was to make a streaming service.
I know I've spent an hour slandering you, but please hire me.
Yeah, that's literally what this has been. I thought I could do it as well, and I've always tried pushing the limits of what I could do. Why I did a streaming service. I think I'm famous, but nobody cares about me. Cost of the streaming service. I spent $3,000 of my own money to build a streaming service from the ground up. Later realized people were using Vimeo, where Vimeo only took $1 per charge. So I switched to Vimeo. It actually made me a profit on day 1. Wow, good for you. Where are my employees? I had to let them go since the channel wasn't able to sustain full-time editors anymore. Just like any business, you have to face hardships that you don't want to face, and unfortunately, I had to in this case. Yeah, that's like fine. That's reasonable. As a business owner, you got to make decisions like that. It happens, right? Total waste of your money, though, to be frank. Deer Stalker Pictures, the hot pink tiefling, is a fall cosplay. Funny enough, fall cosplay is the first result for on YouTube when searching hot pink tiefling cosplayer. Why has the channel been so everywhere? Honest answer, I wasn't taking care of myself, and it showed in my channel and my work. I was very negative to myself the entire time, and not once did I look back at being proud of my accomplishments, but instead looked at them with disgust. I've only started to finally find my self-worth and get better every day. Not just trying to gain sympathy, just trying to tell the honest truth. He's going through that thing that many YouTubers go through, that once the growth falls off, you have to look inside yourself and find your own internal self-worth. I've gone through it. Everybody goes through it, okay? Literally no other streaming, no other creator started a streaming service in 2023. Yeah, I don't even know where that comes from. What was the blue post about stepping away from DnD? Again, I wasn't taking care of myself, and I blamed outside problems for my feeling to make me feel better. Side note, Crispy shows off my comedy partner and I performing on stage and wonders where he went. I don't have the original blue post anymore and deleted them from all my socials when my mental state started to become less negative. Since Crispy seems to have them all saved, ask Crispy to show the first post in the thread where I state at the beginning of what happened to my comedy partner. There were 4 blue pictures in that thread, so make sure you send, Crispy sends each one. Let's see. Crispy shows the most popular viral videos of the bar trying to distract the evil king and blah, 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 blah. This is just him mauling, dude. Crispy brings up my issues with the logo. How to make it make sense for the price of that logo. This is like an insane, yeah. The yapping Chud versus the twink Chad. Comedy partner and big quotes there, yeah. Oh my god. Crispy shows a clip of Duke stating that it's borderline defamation. Just for clarification, Crispy makes a claim of defamation next to clips of me saying $698 for self-service and bad financial, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is all just like big yapping at Crispy, okay? This is like nothing burger type shit, you know? Let's see. Crispy says they couldn't find where I spoke about this, and that was because I privated. Hold on. Crispy brings up a Kickstarter project called Tabletop News, and the Kickstarter's hope was to make high-quality gaming news productions focused around tabletop and role-playing games. Insane, by the way. Some additional information regarding Tabletop News situation. Tabletop News raised over $100,000 of funding. It was able to produce this type of content at high quality. Here's a screenshot link to the Kickstarter if you're interested. Note, the best information I can find on the Kickstarter ended was in June of 29th of 2023 using the archive. Crispy says that they couldn't find where I spoke about this, and that was because I privated almost all of my past live streams because it felt like my past streams didn't represent what I'm trying to do with my channel at this moment, so I privated them. Please let me state this once again. I'm not good at addressing my concerns when it comes to this. And in the stream, I pretty much word for word make accusations towards tabletop news in the same way I accuse MinMax. This guy is not. He is fighting a very losing battle right now. I will defend myself and say that it wasn't an official call out or my first ever call out like I did with my MinMax video, since I view this as rather me going over the situation and giving my thoughts to only my community on stream rather than making a public video calling this out. So if you watch my unlisted stream, take what I say with a grain of salt because I didn't do my proper research at the time. And my hope is that I can provide correct information here. This guy is actually losing so hard. Dude, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. I appreciate your feedback. I truly do. I do want to say that this wasn't something that was rushed. I worked on this for 6 hours yesterday, researching and getting this prepared. That's it. Plus 2 more hours today. Guys, he worked a full retail shift. Okay, you gotta understand, he worked really hard. He worked 8 full hours, chat. 8 full hours on that original video. Duke, 8 hours is nothing, dude. You're so fucking felted. You're so felted. You're over. You're literally dead. He's beating you. He's beating you so hard. The fact that you think a single afternoon of research is worthy of a full expose is not countering anything that I said. Oh, notice how OneShot Questers left out all of those things that make him look like a massive fucking idiot. Okay, notice how that was left out. All right, and it's just in the Google Docie. Oh no! Guys, he is so clearly a right-wing grifter in disguise. It's going to happen. Crispy is reading off my replies from my initial video and reads off a comment from the audience referencing my being a Christian and bringing up Jesus. Crispy doesn't read the full comment and starts reading the comment at, "This video does not make you." Duke, if someone was only listening to the video and not looking at what was being shown on screen, this part can be very misleading and has caused one of the top responses I'm seeing when it comes to negative comments, DMs, and emails from the audience. This part has caused widespread false information being spread, and creators have reached out to me, providing me information on what their own communities are saying in their Discord servers about me as a person. I cannot provide any proof at this time since I didn't get any creators' approval to share screenshots and comments, so again, I understand if you choose to believe or disbelieve the false claims. What I can provide is the full comment with my reply that Crispy reads off. You can see that the commenter brings up my Christian background and then gives an example of Jesus saying, "Show with your deeds, not with your words," with the remaining message being part read out loud by Crispy. In my head, how I was viewing my response was, okay, if we're bringing up what Jesus did, I'll also give an example of what Jesus did. And that's why I said Jesus called out people who needed to be called out. This guy is definitely one of those MAGA evangelicals, is he not? Unfortunately for me, the reply after turned into a bait and switch and applied a false assumption about me. And I was attempting to be Jesus. And that MinMax was a Farsi. I just want to say that assumption and attempting to view myself as Jesus is something I would never do. And those that know me would agree to that. Trying to view myself as Jesus is very against the religion I am continuing to practice in. And that would be going against my own beliefs. Would it have been smart of me not to reply to that comment? Yes. Was I standing up for myself since my Christian background was brought up? This guy is very un-Christ-like, dude. This guy is very un-Christian. All right? He is Christian parentheses performative derogatory. Yes, I was standing up because a Christian background was brought up. Yes, and I stand behind that even with the backlash it has caused me. I hope that clarifies this particular part of misconception. Oh my god. It wasn't easy for you, yet you already have more knowledge about D&D than the MinMax crew would. Show some grace. If folks hadn't wanted it to happen, hadn't donated, then it likely wouldn't have happened. They aren't D&D content creators. They're successful and comfortable creators in their own space whose fans literally begged them to do it for ages. Scheduling commitments, distance, and the means made it very unlikely without cash injection. Others have already mentioned the issues you've been whining about, how they spend the money, so not going to retread old ground on that. Either way, this makes you look bad and leaves a bad taste. You talk about being a nice guy. Because the thing is, people who are like, I'm a nice guy, it's always performative. That's performative. I believe you're a Christian. Jesus said, show with your deeds, not with your words. This video does not make you out to be a nice guy, rather a petty, whining, and miserable man hamming up his emotions in order to garner engagement and thus money. Pretty poor showing, dude. Pretty disappointing. And as a Christian who's still practicing in it, Jesus also called out people when they needed to be called out. Notice how... Notice how that other person is referencing a passage, and he's just saying Jesus did that. I wonder if this guy even has opened up a Bible in his life. Oh, holy shit. It's so hard being a Christian nowadays, white middle-class evangelicals. Yeah, as we all know, on the first day, God created Google Docs. On the second day, Jesus canceled Satan. Crispy brings up my decision to turn off commenting on my video and then putting them on a pause and reopening it to the public. Crispy also states that I reopened the comments because I have a humiliation fetish. Is this guy gonna be like, I don't have a humiliation fetish? Once MinMax released their response video, I turned off comments, changed my title and thumbnail out of respect to MinMax for their response. I explained that in my decision in the comment. Okay, so he's just, the audience attacked me again, saying I'm being a coward for not allowing additional comments on my video. Holy shit. Holy shit. There were a total of 90 instances in which Crispy's video where they attacked, belittled, and made fun of me and accused and made negative assumptions about me in a 55-minute video. Could you imagine going through my streams and counting every single time I said something that hurt your feelings? Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. And then this guy is like hopping on Fiverr and and being like, they could have done this, they could have done this. He's so felted. He's so felted. Holy shit. It's so over. Damn, that's crazy. Thanks for sending me those pictures. God. Holy shit. Oh my god. Well, I think that just about covers it. Oh my god. Yeah, it's very clear that this guy is doing this because being a creator is actually really difficult and kind of unstable, you know? So there's that. He doesn't realize that all of it, I don't know. He's just like a disaster of a person. Sorry, I'm busy looking at myself now. And like, when I look at myself, I get like really, I'm like, how could I not stare at myself? You know, like that's really the thing. It's hard to be this amazing and sexy and correct and hot. If anything, I think Crispy was too nice. Crispy should have been meaner. You know, you should let that forked tongue sing, my NB. You know? Yeah, I know he's gonna have to go and get a real job now. At least we know that this wasn't made with AI because it's so bad. You know, we really do know that this was like He made it himself. But Crispy made a response. We've reached the bedrock. Also, Crispy felt him even harder by reaching out to MinMax to get a little receipt of purchases. Well, I think we could say that Crispy won, and so did MinMax, and that this guy is the Felted. But I am going to log off for the evening because I got a message that I have more work I need to do, so I need to go do that because the toil is never done. The toil is never done.